Okay, let's see if it works. This is try number 426 of getting online. And yes, I am outside, but I did not know that there was some hammering. Hope it's not too bad in the background. Hello, everybody. And here we go, getting things a little bigger. And let's see. And we are live. Hello, everyone. Hopefully it's gonna work. And it's gonna be okay. Looking at things here, a little dark maybe. We'll try to adjust it a little later. Mr. Paul the Cat is right next to me, wondering what's happening. Hey everyone, welcome aboard. This is the Shortwave Radio Show. We are Friday, October 19th, 2018. Hopefully it's not too noisy outside, because there's hammering, there's planes, and there's wind. But at the last minute I decided, I want to be outside. It's about 60 Fahrenheit, 16, 17 Celsius maybe. According to the thermometer on my GP5, 63 Fahrenheit exactly right now. So ain't too bad with a long sleeve shirt. I'm going to be okay. Probably one of the last shows I'll do from outside anyways. And I was listening to 9A9A from Croatia on 14238 upper sideband on the Texan PL 680. And it's nice to have everybody on board as usual. So I hope everything is alright. So welcome. This is of course our Friday edition of the radio show. I'm just gonna try to remove myself from being in a kind of a jail. Hopefully that hammering will stop in the next hour or so. So hey everybody, welcome. This is the Shortwave Show. My name is Gilles. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Yes, it's nice today. It's beautiful and really cool. You know, just perfect day actually. When you want to go outside and do stuff, it's like this is how I like it. So we're going to talk about shortwave radio today. Of course, I have my trusty beer, the Fin du Monde from Unibro, the usual Fin du Monde. So cheers, everybody. And of course, we will try to entertain, and I hope everybody has a great time. Sorry, I just ate something that has like peanuts. So nice to have everybody on board. There's a beautiful chat room for those that want to join in. Hello there, Richard Cook from the UK. We have Elton Byington from Baltimore, K3JWA. Bobby Burgess from Morgan City, Louisiana. His call sign is WA5107SWL. That's a shortwave listener call sign. Max Edstrong, hello there. Nice to have you here. Says lots of aeronautical communications on 11330. Mark Cope, nice to have you on board. Says 20 meters was great last night. Seems to be pretty good today. The 9A9A station from Croatia is really booming in here. Although 9A9A from Croatia always booms in. So Mark Cope says, sitting here at work, dang it. I need to find a way to sneak a wire off the roof. That would be nice. That would be nice. Unknown station on 5030 playing music, says Richard Cook in the UK. 5140 as well. Probably a pirate on 5140. So nice to have you here. What else do we have? Below 30 megahertz. Hey there from Valencia, Spain. Nice to have you here. MDK2, Matt, hey, nice to have you here, KE0SFC, also WA0080SWL, Matambali, nice to have you here from Colorado. Let's go down. Juan Amigo, nice to have you here from Barcelona, Spain. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah, I was a little late, a couple of minutes late because of a setup problem. So, yep, oui, de retour sur mon balcon, PLF Radio. Bienvenue à la France. So, yep, back on the balcony today. Nice to have everybody here. Good afternoon, everybody. Dexpar74, nice to have you here from Germany. Neil Fooms, nice to have you here. M0CJM from Basingstoke, UK. Always nice to have all of you here. That's really a lot of fun. What else do we have? just go down. If I miss out on your name, if I haven't said hello, please do so. Jack M9IIF, nice to have you here. Always nice to see you here. SWL60N, nice to have you on board from the Nordic countries. Radio Telescope, nice to have you here. Really cool to see you here. Richard Cook says Vatican Radio in English on 7360. Let's try it out. 7360. And remove. I am hearing it on the Tex NPL 680, 7360. What else do we have? Jerry DX, nice to have you on board. Hey, Shortwave Frequency Channel, nice to have you on board from Sweden. Pretty cool. No, not too bad outside. Not too bad. 63 Fahrenheit, according to the GP5 thermometer. Kind of like the fact that there's a thermometer in the radios. Kind of fun. John Young, nice to have you here. Says beautiful day out there in Montana too. Cool. 9705 for Vatican. Let's try 9705. Yeah, it's coming in. It's not super strong, but it's there. Definitely there. Definitely there. Bob Martin, nice to have you here. Bob, KF4LRX, Forest City, North Carolina. Nice to have you here. I like the name Forest City. What else do we have? Bobby Berg, according to a source, ISS slow scan TV on October 27th. Yeah, the problem is the crew that was supposed to be there has not been there because they had the emergency landing. So I'm not sure this will go on if the crew hasn't changed. So that's, I think, something to know. But if it does go on, I think it's going to be cool, and we'll try to get more information for the... Tomorrow we have a VHF UHF show, so hopefully tomorrow is going to be okay. SWL60N says it's 4 Celsius in Stockholm, Sweden, 39 Fahrenheit. So here it's, in Celsius, 63 amounts to what, about 15, 16, something like that. Ralph Bender, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Jerry Davis, KM4ZMZ, or ZMZ, depending if you're Canadian, American, or whatever you want to pronounce your Z or your Z. Nice to have you here. We have Jerry says, did you buy me a Mega Million ticket only worth $1 billion? Yeah, I saw that on the TV on news that there would be a billion. That's incredible. Winning $1 billion at the lottery. You're a billionaire with a lottery ticket. Kind of crazy when you think about it. I think Paul the Cat wants to come in, but he doesn't know how to get on. Come on, people want to see you. Go from here. He's kind of stuck in between the table and the barbecue, and he doesn't know what to do. Come here. Come here. So, anyways, it's nice to see everybody here. Did I miss out on anyone? Please say hello. So Jerry DX, nice to have you here. Alan Willie, nice to have you on board from rainy Newfoundland. Cyberflyer 1, nice to have you here. Hey, want to come say hi? Get up. Get up. People want to see you. Come on. No, he's decided he's going on inside a house. So, well, I can tell you with $1 billion, I would buy every radio I want to buy. Who cares? $1 billion, I'm sending you all a radio. Just tell me which one you want, and I'll be sending you all a radio with $1 billion. Paul Peters, nice to have you on board, Paul, in Warwickshire, England. And hello to Mr. Paul that just went inside. Donald Hosmer, nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. PLF Radio says 9420, Greece, great signal. Matam Valley wants an ICOM R9500. So, by the way, if anybody wins that $1 billion, I can tell you. I don't know if we can buy Mega Millions in Canada. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think you have to go to the United States to get them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you can buy them here, unless you can buy them online somehow. Here, I think the highest lottery, I'm trying to remember, was the highest lottery we've ever had, but it was like, I don't know, it was below 100 million, that's for sure. So I know I have a lot of noise in the background. They are making, remaking the roof like three houses down. So yeah, absolutely. Bike DXer, nice to have you here, and pretty cool to have you on board. Andy Coley says hello, and nice to have you here, Andy. And of course, today we're gonna do some tuning the bands a little bit. Talk about Shortwave. I've got PL680 portable. I've got the GP5, and they are hooked to the sloper antenna in my backyard. We're gonna start a ETM scan right now in 70 stations. It's actually going to stop on and try to see what stations we are getting. Sipa, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. And it's pretty nice to have you on board. Did I buy my first official and legal cannabis? Nope. I don't smoke cannabis. I don't smoke pot. That was in the old days of being in college. Today's not anymore. But there's somebody on Facebook, one of my friends, that was like super happy. Like in the minute that we hit like midnight on the 17th, it was like, woohoo! It's like, okay, take it easy, man. Store won't open until tomorrow. There's actually an interesting story about this, because there's a when they actually had the store to open, they were all waiting in line. And when the date arrived, one guy took out a joint and smoked it in front of a cop, kind of, you know, saying, hey, I can smoke now, I can smoke my pot. But the thing is, the store wasn't open yet. So the cop gave him a $672 fine because the store wasn't open. That meant that he had got his pot illegally. So he got a fine for that, $672. So I guess in the end, the cop said, haha. But you know, one of those things. I don't know. I was a little, I don't know what to think about, you know. Waiting in the line to get your pot and being happy on TV. I don't know. It's like, you know, I don't know. Nothing has changed. Whoever wanted pot before could get it anyways. You know. I don't know why we're going crazy again. I don't know. Bike DXer can't hear 5030 or 5140. 5140 is a pirate in Charleston radio room from Berlin. Oh, so there's some pirate activity on 5140 from Berlin apparently. Hey, Mr. G, nice to have you here from the UK. Pretty cool to see all of you. Bobby Burgess says, by the way, I redid my room today. Really do have a place to build a shack. That's cool. Yes, exactly. Lesson number 1: don't jump on a gun. Et voila. That's you know, that's what you get. That's what you get when you know, you wanna just go a little too be a little too trigger happy. Okay, so ETM scan going on. Already 18 stations found. We're gonna see what they are. So you guys, of course, can tune around your radios and have a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have time to do the PowerPoint, but there's a lot of fun last week to see everybody's radio room. It was kind of cool to see that. And sorry, just have a little something here. So anyways, it was fun to see everybody's shack. It's kind of cool to see that. And it's, you know, always fun to see how people set up and the radios they use, and it's kind of cool, you know. So yeah, thanks for the pictures, guys. And I've got a lot more pictures that I've got, and I even got a little surprise. Somebody has offered me to send me a box of little radios. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's going to be cool. Okay, ETM scan. 7285. So let's just put it here so it actually. So 7285. China Radio International. So that's China Radio. Just gonna check if everything's alright here. Yep. Then we have 9350, which I believe is WWCR. Weak WRMI 9395. So let me just go to the list here. Then we have station from 9410. The BBC, I think it's the BBC. Yeah, the BBC on 9410. In English, 9410. Pretty cool. BBC. Hey, David Snyder, nice to have you here. Says that the R75 is back up, but I'm worried about the power plug getting fried because some damage to the radio. Huh. Have you seen any weird acting up of your R75 since the power supply fried? Yeah, I caught up in the chat real fast today, Richard. Not a lot of things to comment, that's why. Sometimes people post things and you get to and I get to comment on there, so it didn't take a lot of time. So 9410, definitely the BBC, and according to here, it's broadcasting from. It says W. Is it Warfordton, England? Pretty nice signal from the BBC. Hey, Vancouver Island DXer, nice to have you here. It says got in from raising my fan dipole. It's got for 5, 7, 10, 14 megahertz. Need a lot of tedious tuning to get it right. So nice to have you here, Brian. VE7AUL, VE7011 SWL. PLF radio cannot get 9410. Hey, Brian, Iowa, nice to have you here. Oh, really? Brian, Iowa heard the space station talking to some school kids in New Mexico yesterday. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, really? Can't hear much as noise level is high. That's weird. Huh. Chris Brightus, nice to have you here. Pretty cool to have you on board. David Arden, hello there. Says 9410. Long-standing BBC frequency. JD Williamson, nice to have you here. Bonsoir. Ça va très bien. It's always good to see you here. Greece, 9420 with a good signal. With some Greek music. That is the frequency to go to for Greek music, I can tell you that. RT Gideon, nice to have you on board. Randy in California, pretty cool to see you here. 9460, Voice of Turkey. $96.35. What is $96.35? Oh, it's Voice of Turkey in French. That's ending in a few minutes. Voice of Turkey French with music on 96.35. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So PLF Radio says now I have a very weak signal 9410. Vatican Radio 9705. Vatican Radio 9705. So Vatican Radio in English, 9705. 9885 is, I believe, the BBC in Arabic. Yeah, 9885 BBC in Arabic. Hey, Dan Walsh, nice to have you on board from cloudy New York City, listening in the shortwave with a crane skywave. Cool. Cool. Yeah, the skywave. Skywave. I said sky crane too, the skywave from Sea Crane. All mixed up. Sea Crane, skywave. Matt says, interesting. I see DRM looking signal on 9535, but there's nothing on the schedule. Do I have here on 9535 anything DRM? According to here, it's Radio Romania, Matt. It is written here on the IBI space. It says Radio Romania from 2000 to 2030 and 2030 to 2100. So right now it's in French in DRM. It's going to switch to English at 2030 in DRM. So it's Radio Romania, Matt. Richard Cook's got Vietnam on 9730. Pretty cool. What else do we have? Radio Cairo, 9895. Good signal with very distorted audio. Very distorted audio, but really good signal though. 9895 Radio Cairo. Hey, Bill Mead, nice to have you here. Says left this time of year, ready hearing UK military vomit on 5450. Yeah, there's a lot of stations actually that are coming in earlier. Even the 40-meter band, I've been hearing many Europeans around this time, which is nice, you know, because usually in the summertime you got to wait till like really late in the evening before Europeans come in on 40 meters. It's this is, for me, there are two periods that I really truly love for shortwave, and it's, I would say, September, October, November, and then I would say February, March, and April, because of the way that the gray line is set up. Kind of interesting to hear all these stations. Summertime, you know, evening is great. Summertime evening is cool. Wintertime, daytime is not bad. It's actually kind of nice to a lot of signals. The problem with wintertime, especially with the very low solar activity we're getting right now, problem with that is it's the signals tend to get really weak because the maximum usable frequency really drops fast in the evening. Vianney Arsenault, bienvenue de la Gaspésie. Always nice to have you on board from the eastern part of Quebec. Pretty cool. Richard Cook says, yep, Cairo, nice signal, poor audio, as usual. Pretty cool. A mishmash of station on 11860. One of them is, I believe, Radio Marti. You're going to confirm it. I think it's a Radio Marti. Yep, Radio Marti on and Radio Havana Cuba also. So that means that's the mishmash. There's Cuba, Radio Havana Cuba, and Radio Marti both on 11860. Hey, Jason Shin, nice to have you here. Richard Cook's got Gander Vomit on 10051 upper sideband. BCJ Vids, hey there, nice to have you on board from Derby Line, Vermont. KC1HHW, pretty cool to see you on board, my friend. WEWN on 12050. WWCR on 13845. Spain very strong on 15.520. Spain is really strong on 15.520.
Mirar para arriba y ver venir la ola, que se empezaba a poner transparente en la cresta y a romper, y esto ya no me salió así, ¿no? Y bueno, pero lo vas pasando, se sufre mucho.
Jared McGrady, nice to have you here. And WEWN on 15.610. Not very strong, but it's there. 15.730. What's on 15.730? 15.730. Hope it's not too noisy in the background, guys. By the way, I know there's a lot of noise today. Oh, Voice of America. Voice of America from Greenville, North Carolina, 15.730. And then we're back on China radio 7285. Hey, Data Duden, nice to have you on board. Matambali says 15730, Voice of America S4, but quite readable. And Matambali says Radio Exterior España, reported S9 here, very clear. Cool. Max Headstrong's got 10051 for Gander. Richard Cook's got the BBC on 12095. So that's pretty much what I've got this time around on the ETM scan. So, well, lots of hammering here. Sorry guys about that. I did not realize that it was so noisy to be outside today. But as long as it's reasonable when I talk and that it's acceptable, we're in great, you know. I thought this is going to be one of the last times I can do a show from outside, probably before we actually get into the spring. So why not, you know? I would like to do one day, like, you know, from a winter day with the snow and everything. That would be kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't think the camera goes below 0, so it would be kind of hard to do. So anyways, always nice to have all of you here. Madam Valley says, those roofers' Morse code is not very good. So then Walsh is reading in 5.5. That's cool. That's the important thing, you know, that even though there's a background noise, everything is all right. Vianney Arsenault said, I just opened my Monster radio, the ICOM IC751. It's an old radio, but not bad at all. You know, that's cool. You know, these older receivers, a lot of them are amazing radios, honestly. They're amazing radios. So, you know, pretty cool. Matt, about tomorrow's show, can you do that from outside, or is the weather supposed to change by then? The weather's going to change tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be rainy and cooler, I believe. So, yeah, let me just check that out here. I'm going to refresh the weather. So, right now, so it's going to rain tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow it's 12. Tomorrow's colder. So tomorrow's going to be inside, but tomorrow we're going to do a VHF, UHF show. And I will be, actually, I will have my RTL SDR on VHF, UHF on my, on display. So instead of using the ICOM to tune around, I'll be using the little RTL dongle on the VHF, UHF. We're going to see how it goes. So, I think it's going to be fun. So tomorrow's a VHF UHF is going to be on the other channel. But you know, I'm going to be actually I'm going to set up the RTL SDR tonight, test it out tonight and tomorrow morning before I get into the show, because you know you don't want to have anything that doesn't work while you're doing the show. French on 11660, which I believe is China radio. Let's see if I hear it here. It's very weak over here. Very weak. Very weak. Very weak. Hey, Walker Bro 39. Nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. David Snyder says, does anyone know a company that can evaluate how much it would cost to fix my R75? Because I can't hear anything on shortwave, and many AM stations I can't listen to. I know that Universal Radio, David, Universal Radio fixes receivers. You can do that, or you can actually call ICOM and ask them where would they tell you to send that R75. But I believe Universal Radio is pretty much a trusted source for fixing radios, so you could check that out. Hi Mapper from Moscow, nice to have you on board. Nice to have you on board. It's yeah, roof work, absolutely. Like the third neighbor that's getting his roof redone. RWM Moscow time signal station on 9996 and 4996. Let's check it out here. Can I hear RWM? Let's check that out. Nothing on 9996. None of the frequencies for RWM is actually propagating. But we're getting an okay WWV on 15 megahertz. Okay, that's a leaf that fell from the tree. So WWV 15 megahertz, pretty good. So WWV coming in, not too bad on 15 megahertz. Vianney says, for the first time we had yesterday, our first snow, but just a bit on the ground. Yesterday evening, the radio propagation was good, and good also today. I was listening to the radio, to shortwave yesterday evening. I tuned around some the bands, and it was pretty nice, actually. And here in Montreal, we saw the first snowflakes on... Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, we had our first snowflakes. But it is much warmer today. As you can see, much warmer today. PLF Radio says, great signal on 7255. I don't know if it's CRI or Voice of Nigeria. I have both. 7257. Yeah, there's something there, but I don't know what it is. I hear a faint signal here, so I don't know. The Hammerman is on CW mode. And now you've got the alarms of the fire department. Live action from Montreal. So we just passed the 30 mark. Let's do another ETM scan and check out what we can hear on the half hour now. And of course, if anybody has questions, anything, we're here for that. So hope that everybody's well, lots of action happening in Montreal today. The trees are losing their leaves. I mean, in a week or two, there won't be any more leaves on that big tree in the back here. Just amazing. It's those times when everything is changing. Times they are changing, as the song says. So we're doing an ETM scan. Apart from that, so I was listening a little bit to the shortwave bands this week. Somewhat weird propagation. I think it was on Tuesday. Where it was kind of bizarre a little bit. But for most of the times, I mean, signals were great, propagation was pretty good, and it was really nice, honestly. So it's kind of cool to tune around, and see what's on the bands. I don't know if I'll have a lot of time this weekend to do a lot of radio, but we're gonna try. Okay, what else do we have? Does the Texan PL365 have that soft mute thing like the 360? I'm really tempted to get the 365. Yes, it does. When you tune around, there's a little mute as you turn the wheel. There is a little mute. And pretty much they share a very, very similar design, actually. But they are... the only difference is that the PL365 adds single sideband capability. But I think behind the radio itself, the 360 and 365, if you take out single sideband, they're the same radio. So they have the same soft mute and everything, absolutely. So, nice to... Rafael 65, good afternoon. Nice to have you on board. Yes, noisy day in Montreal. We got to add, hammers, winds. We got to add the emergency services. The airplanes passing over. Everything's there. Everything's there. Sepulchral Miasma. Nice to have you here. So thanks for the vids and guides. I'm new to ham. I have an RTL SDR, soon to be getting a more beefed up one. Cool. Welcome aboard. And, the channel's here for that. Honestly, what I try to build on this channel is two things. Some people don't understand that. Some people say, well, why do you post videos of stations you're hearing? And just that, in between all the other videos. Because I want my channel to be, first of all, a logbook. I want to have a video logbook of the stations that I'm listening to. So I can go back 5 years and say, oh, look at that. 5 years ago we were hearing that station. Or 4 years ago I was hearing that station. So it's kind of cool. So part of the channel is a video logbook. Part of the channel I try to have kind of, a little bit of education on helping out and understand what it's all about and understand how everything works. That's something that is also part of the channel. I grew up in the 80s with shortwave. In the 80s, there was no help at all. You had no idea about, I was clueless. If it wasn't for the DX100 manual that explained where to listen to what and what you could listen on shortwave, I was clueless as to a lot of stuff. Like I said, one of the funniest stories I've got is putting 100 feet of wire outside, listening to KBS World Radio in South Korea on 15575 with a good signal. Wake up the next day, punch in 15575, realize I don't hear a thing. And I think my antenna is broken. It's like, what's happening? Because these are all things you don't know. You don't understand that propagation of shortwave changes day to day, hour to hour, even minute to minute sometimes. So there's a lot of what I do on here I want to have, also educational. So it's part a video logbook, educational videos, live shows where we're having fun, and I was trying to think the other day what I could add as other types of videos for shortwave and for radio in general that could be helpful and that people would like to see, honestly. So it's kind of fun. And it's fun to have people, leave you comments like this saying, what you did there helped me so much understand how this or that works. It's cool to know that you've helped somebody somewhere. Also, it's cool to see, in the live shows like this, we're all here together, different parts of the world, with our radios and having fun and tuning around the bands. And it's just cool because, we all know that radio listening is a very, very solitary hobby. We listen alone. Most of us don't know anyone that's interested in listening. Most of us are annoying everybody else with the noise and the radio stuff. So it's kind of cool to be able to bring all of that together with the live shows, for example. So it's pretty cool. Bike the Extra says the talk on 7255 sounds like Chinese language. So that would be probably like China radio or something. Sepulchral Miasma says, I have a Linux server running on my apartment roof, almost, that I remote into my PC. It's running AirSpy server. Cool. With SDR Sharp. Cool. That is nice. That is nice. Donald Hosmer says, sounds like my old Detroit, except the gunshots have been replaced with hammer sounds. There was a funny story this morning. There was a scare in a school in one of the small cities just north of Montreal, and they were, it's hunting season, so they heard gunshots, and they kind of evacuated the school because everybody was going nuts on the gunshots. But it was like not very far away. There were some hunters with their guns, and it just made everybody panic. We don't hear gunshots much here, so it's like a gunshot probably will really, really pick up a lot of attention from a lot of people. So, Sepulchral Miasma, if you have just one antenna to put up, you gotta, try to have what is the best possible. So, it's very difficult. The biggest problem with that is if you've got a very wide band coverage on your receiver, it's very difficult to have only one antenna that will do everything. Because, and that's why most devices actually have more than one input for antennas when they're wideband, because they'll typically tell you, one will be the VHF, UHF range. The other one will be shortwave. You can't really be pleased with only one antenna that'll cover everything, unfortunately. So I don't know if anybody has an idea of a wideband antenna that could be useful for our friend here, but it's very Universal Radio doesn't do repairs. Oh, why? They used to. Was it Universal Radio that used to? I don't know. Call ICOM. They have a 1-800 number, David. You can call ICOM and they'll point you in a direction of where you can send it and have it fixed or verified at least. Dexfar, what's better for me, SDR console or HD SDR? I like HD SDR much, much better than SDR console. Honestly, HD SDR is my go-to software for doing any software-defined radio stuff. The reason I was on SDR console yesterday is because on my Windows 10 laptop, HD SDR doesn't work well on the network with my Ephedra SDR, and I don't know why. It doesn't. It chops off all the time. Where SDR console actually is pretty stable and works well. So I've reverted to SDR console on the Windows 10 laptop, and HD SDR I use on my Windows 7 desktop and my other Windows 7 laptop, basically. But I do prefer HD SDR. But I realize it's so much more of a personal choice for a lot of us, because I get a lot of people say, well, I prefer SDR console, I prefer, SDR Sharp, I prefer. And when you start talking, it really pretty much comes to what we personally like on each software. So it's kind of, a very personal thing. Radio Romania on 6170. Let's check it out here. So SDR, Radio Romania on 6172 on my Texan PA680. Pretty cool. Yeah, they're coming for me, Radio Telescope, absolutely. Ralph Bender, 109 and only 26 thumbs up. Come on. Yep. Yerikit. Nice to have you here. Man. There's one of the big ones that do repairs, but I don't. Is it Universal? What other store? I thought Universal did repair. There was one big one that did repairs, but I don't remember which one, or if it's one that's gone now, maybe. Chris Freitas says the area near my apartment has seen some action as well. A nasty wreck, happy, a busy intersection. Before I went to vote, they were still cleaning up when I got home 30 minutes ago. You know, I live near the, there's a lot of intersections in Montreal, of course, because it's a big city. But I live about a kilometer away from what is the intersection with the most accidents in Montreal, actually. And I'm not surprised because there's a Bureau en Gros Staples store there that I often went to buy some stuff, especially some supplies when I was doing tech jobs. And I don't know how many times I saw an accident there. So when I saw it, I said, that doesn't surprise me. I've never seen such an intersection with so many accidents. It's just crazy. Already, they're less interested in buying used radios. Maybe they're getting stuck with them, you know. And when you look at used radios, I mean, there's so much choice now. You can go to, you know, flea market. You can go to there's online ads. There's eBay. There's so many places where used radios are now available that these stores probably aren't super interested anymore in having these radios. Brett Wayne, nice to have you here. KC2NXP from Salamanca, New York. Pretty cool to see you here. And pretty cool to have all of you here. Brian Penny, nice to have you here from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. W2BJP, pretty cool. Matambali says, I love those signal posts, by the way. If I catch them early enough, I try tuning them in. Please keep those coming. Yeah, I like to post, you know, what I'm receiving. Even if, you know, there's a guy that I blocked from the channel from Europe, and he was always posting, why are you posting this? That station is not that far away from you. It's not even DX. Who cares? That's not the point. The point is it's a log, a video log of what I'm listening to and hearing at the moment. It's like, I don't know. I've had that a few times. People telling me, well, you know, you should only post when it's real DX. Why? I'll post one video a month because I'm getting real rare DX once a month or something? No. It's a video blog of what I'm receiving. And it is, and that's also the fun part, it is a, you know, it is and will be videos of time past. As, you know, some stations will leave the air. You'll look back at this 10 years from now and say, oh man, remember there was that. You know, say I'm not doing these live shows anymore in 5 years or 10 years. You know, people will look back at this as, oh, I remember when, you know, Gilles used to do these live shows and there were radio, we were tuning around the bands, and, you know, I plan on doing this as long as, you know, I mean, I get YouTube monetization, I live off of YouTube. It's cool. I mean, as long as I live off of YouTube, I'll be here, you know, that's for sure. One of the cool things about the fact that I live off of YouTube is I have the time to do this also. I mean, if I'd have a 9-to-5 job, I'm not sure I would do so many live shows. I mean, I would probably, you know, be tired and just, well, you know, do once a month or something. So this is kind of cool, you know, and it's kind of a testimony of everything of a period in time. And I don't know how long, you know, it's interesting because the other day somebody asked me the question. Somebody told me, how long do you think these videos are going to stay online? I mean, for them to be removed, there would have to be some, I mean, there would have to be either YouTube would go down and you know, be over with, or, I mean, YouTube is still and by far the most popular video site on the internet. It is very far ahead of anything else. It doesn't mean it's not going to change. I mean, look at go back in time and let's look at, when I started using the internet, and Yahoo was that search engine. Yahoo was where you would go. My first free email was a Yahoo email. I mean, that was the place to go. Would have thought that Google would take over and dominate. That means you never know. Even though they do dominate and it's hard to, remove them, you never know what could happen in a couple of years or 5 years. Or, when I started doing YouTube, one of the things that came to mind was, what is going to happen in 5 years? Will I still be doing this? Is in 5 years from now YouTube going to be something else and I'm going to be somewhere else and do something else in life? Well, 6 years. I started in 2011. 6 years, 7 years now. 7 years on, I'm still here. I'm here, and I don't see, any changes in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. But you never know. You never know. Things can change. And will these videos still be here in 50 years or 100 years? I would hope so. Honestly, one thing that I would hope and really like is that whatever videos been posted on YouTube about any subject at any period of time would be here, when I pass away, that these things will be here. This will be the place where, there used to be a guy in Montreal, Canada that would do radio videos and that would do live shows, and it's going to still be there in 100 years. And somebody will, by accident, stumble on it maybe and say, wow, that guy's from the past, from the early 2000s. And I sincerely hope that these videos would stay and will be online for forever, or for as long as all of this works. So I don't know. Things change, and you never know what could happen. Things can change really fast sometimes. So kind of cool. Okay, what else do we have? Mark T, nice day out there, beautiful here also, and Puyallup, Washington. Puyallup, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Washington State. Thanks for all your great broadcasts. So cool, Mark, nice to have you on board. Mountain Valley says, in the 70s and 80s, the World Radio TV Handbook and Glenn Hauser's show were about the only game in town here. Absolutely. Yeah, but ICOM does not service it, but ICOM might have a place where you can send it. They might say, oh, we recommend this or that place. It's getting complicated. It just seems like these companies don't want us to repair our radios anymore. They want you to buy that new thing. It's like computers. I mean, I was looking at the scores for repairability of computers, the Surface laptops from Microsoft, stuff like that, the MacBooks, the new MacBooks. If you are not a official Apple tech, now you need a special software, because even if you open the newest MacBooks, even to change the battery or a hard drive, you shut it and you close it back, it won't start. It needs to have that special software that Apple will provide to actually put it back working. So, it's obvious that all of that means they don't want us to repair stuff anymore. They want us to just buy something new, and the hell with it. I mean, it's crazy. Niouredune Mazari, bonsoir, bienvenue. Toujours agréable de vous avoir parmi nous. D'Algérie. Always nice to have you on board from Algeria. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Jay Watterson 69, nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Let's go down the list. Now I'm a little farther back now. So, okay, going down. What else? Yeah, that is also a great idea. Brian Penny has a great idea, which is to contact any local amateur radio club for possible radio repair. Maybe you can find, that a repair guy or an amateur radio guy that repairs stuff that is good and that can actually do it. So that would be another alternative. So sad to see that your R75 is not working. Isn't You know, I remember when I had my Kenwood 5000, the first time it did the dots on the display. I mean, these radios are expensive, and I remember I looked at the radio with the dots, no audio coming out. I'm like, what the hell's happening? I mean, you just look at it and it's like, okay, what is happening with this thing, you know? PLF radio has CRI in Italian, 7265. Pretty cool. Take care, Matt. Always nice to have you here. What else do we have? Bobby Burger says, we had a bomb scare in middle school when I was in the 8th grade. Wow. Crazy. Below 30 megahertz says, any recommendations as to what type of cable for making a long wire antenna for portable receivers? I'm thinking of buying cheap speaker cable instead of regular electrical cable. Is it going to do the job? Wire is wire. For a wire antenna, as long as it's wire, it ain't going to change much. That it's speaker wire that's cheaper, or like, you know, regular grade electrical cable that's more expensive. Doesn't matter. Buy what your budget can actually give you. The longest length possible for the cheapest price, and it's going to do the job. I go to an electronic supply store here that has cable for a decent price. I buy that when I do, you know, long wire stuff and want electric cables. It doesn't, for a long wire antenna, it doesn't matter much. So don't worry about the type of cable you'll be using. Hidden Rabbit, nice to have you here. Richard Coy's got a recarrier for 6400 Radio Pyongyang. So pretty cool to see everybody here. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter much, honestly. Really doesn't matter much. Brian Penny says, try the Alpha Delta DX Sloper for our general overall antenna, available through Universal Radio and other retailers. Jack N9IIF says, amateur electronic supply used to repair, but they're gone. It's getting complicated. Andy Coley says, HDSDR, I use it on Windows 10 with the compatibility probably. Works great for repairs. TX Bench on YouTube. Okay. Alan W., nice to have you on board from Ireland. Pretty cool to have you here. Hey, Rich in Atlanta, Georgia. Nice to have you on board. Says Claremont Skyline Radio and TV Services, Gainesville, Georgia, has a complete ham radio repair facility. They repair all makes, models, and vintage. They are also listed on eHam reviews. So that could be one. That could be ham. That could be one. Winston says, yeah, even the vintage Ernie and Bathtub radio can be found on eBay. VK2FBAJ, nice to have you here, Brian, in wet Sydney, Australia. Pretty cool to have somebody from down under, from the future. Enrico Baravoglia, nice to have you here from Italy. Enrico, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Man. Max That Strong is still reeling from my 1 million views per day. Yeah, but that's across 5 channels. 5 channels gave me a total of 1 million. So, you know, I don't know, here I get about, on the Shortwave channel, I get maybe 50,000 views a day, which is pretty surprising when you think about the fact that, it's you know, a very niche thing. I mean, shortwave radio is, that's not a lot of people, you know, not a lot of people doing that, honestly, and there are people, but I mean, it's a very, very unique thing compared to so many other subjects. My million views, a lot of it comes from my tech channels. I would say that my Fix-It channel, Windows and Computer channel, and Insider channel together, they're about 700,000 views a day, all 3 together. The 300,000 left is VHF, UHF, and Shortwave and now Android. I got 6 channels actually. There's the Android channel that's not monetized. I need to do videos there. I have a big problem. I have too many channels, and I have to do too much content. It's getting difficult to really do everything, you know. Walker Boss says, as long as we have Google around, yeah. P1WX, nice to have you here from the Netherlands. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Walker Boss says, first free email. Yeah. Yeah. I moved to a Yahoo email. The first time I moved to an online email was for a very simple reason. My first internet service provider, which was a local small internet service provider. You don't think about that when you don't understand totally how the internet is. But I had an email, and I had an email for business. When high-speed internet arrived, I had to change internet service provider. And then I understood, oh, if I go to that guy, I lose my emails. So nobody, that email doesn't do anything anymore. And Yahoo was on, so I thought, okay, so I better use Yahoo, because now I'll have a an email that's going to stay whether I change. And I changed internet service provider 7 or 8 years later, and I was happy to have a Yahoo, and then I got a Hotmail one from Microsoft. So I was happy to have both of those, because now I would move on to whatever ISP, and it doesn't matter. I don't lose my emails. Vianney Arsenault says 9790 kilohertz AM strong and solid signal, 2030 dB. I don't know if it's still there. Let's try it out here. Nothing more. It's probably just signed off. Probably was just before the 5 p.m. Hey, William Helms, nice to have you here from Florida. Lex Farr says his first email was AOL. C. Johnson, nice to have you here. Pretty cool to have you on board, and it's nice to be here. It's nice to be here. Pretty cool. Yeah. I remember my first chat that was on a IRC type thing in like 1992, 93 on my Commodore computer. And I was amazed that we were a bunch of people on a chat talking together at the same time. I was puzzled. How do they do that? It must be incredible what they're doing here. This week, for those that have been using the internet for a while, it's the 30th anniversary of IRC. So anybody that has been on the internet for a while, you guys probably have chatted on IRC channels. The Internet Relay Chat. It's 30 years this month. And it's a guy in Finland that actually created that IRC. I don't think that in 1988 he ever thought it would become so popular. And it's still in use today, by the way. I remember being a big user of IRC. It was just so cool. I remember creating these channels and waiting for people to find it and come in and see if they can find something. And having people come around was nice. It was really nice. Really cool. Oh, man. C. Johnson says, I put up a long wire antenna earlier this week. An extra 20 feet works a lot better, but the band conditions haven't been too remarkable in 40 meters. It wasn't too bad yesterday, though. It wasn't too bad yesterday. Going down. Nuridun Mazari says 5950 KBS. Good signal. I listened to KBS in French on 5950 the other day. Yesterday afternoon. I heard the last few minutes in French. It was really nice. And I always forget, because it's actually the time of year where it's coming in really well. So, really nice. What else do we have? Vianney says, weird sound on 8530, 10 dB. Looks like an helico. Oh, you're probably getting some kind of radar, maybe. 8530, I don't know if it's Just gonna check it out here. 8.5. Yeah, getting it here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. That's what you're hearing. I'm getting it here too. This is some kind of radar, I guess. It's very wide band. As I hear it from like 85, 18 to 8542 or something. It's a very wide band signal actually on around 8530 Vienna. I'm hearing it really well also. Hey Gordon Treadwell, V6 GPT, nice to have you on board, and so it's cool to have you here. It's nice to have you here. Jay Bartison, any new additions to the DXing backpack? Not really, nothing much actually. Yeah, on the 30th is the Halloween show. Absolutely, Tuesday 30th. So Tuesday the 30th. It's going to be the 30th because on the 31st I'm going to go see Roger Hodgson Supertramp concert. So I will be doing the Halloween show on Tuesday, the 30th of October. So put that on your calendar. 2000 hours UTC as usual. Yes, I did get the pictures, Bobby. I'll show that a little later, my friend. David in Barcelona, nice to have you on board. Nice to have you on board. Says nice to have another outdoor show. Yeah, one of the last one probably, because I mean October 19th we are soon in next few weeks to have snow. It's actually kind of clouding over a little bit now. I think it's going to rain later tonight. As long as it doesn't rain while I'm doing the show, it's going to be okay. That's going to be okay. What else do we have here? What else do we have? PA1WX in the Netherlands says conditions were very good today on 14 megahertz, lot of DX stations. Cool. Monitoring reviews. What's your other channel names? One is Windows and Computers. One is Easy Computer Fixes. One is Windows Insider channel. One is VHF UHF, the official VHF UHF channel, official VHF UHF channel. The other one's Android channel. Learn to use Android OS, I believe is the name. J169 says VIC-20 Commodore plus 4, 64, 128 Amiga. Great fun on those old systems. Yep, I got my Commodore 128, Amiga 500, Atari 1040 ST. I actually received a switch box, so I'll be plugging them all in, and they'll all be available on the TV in my office. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. iMapper says, remembers times when Hotmail was an independent provider before Microsoft bought it. Yes, that's true. Hotmail was, before Microsoft bought it, it was an independent email provider. I remember that. Second email address was first with Britannica. So Ralph Bender says 8530 looks like a digital mode, 20 colors wide. Yeah, I don't know if it's some kind of radar or what, or a digital mode of some sort, but it is very, very wide band, absolutely. So 9650 Radio Guinée. Let's see if I can get it here. Yeah, there's something. It's not very strong, but it's there here. Johnny DXer, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. What else do we have? Eddie Cody says, over this weekend we have Jut on Air and CQ contest and 6-meter contest on Sunday. So there's going to be a lot of stuff this weekend. Richard Cook says Thailand interval signal 9920. Mark Schmidt, hey there from Maine. Nice to have you on board, Mark. Pretty cool. Jerry says, are you going to request Hide in your Shell by Supertramp at the concert? I'm not going to request anything. It's the it's called the Breakfast in America tour. So I would guess it will focus a lot on the Breakfast in America album. Yeah, I still have my original Yahoo account also. I don't remember when I created my Yahoo account. Somewhere around 98, 99 also, I think. 99 maybe. You guys remember when Google started its Gmail? It was a invite-only email. You couldn't get a Gmail unless somebody would invite you. For a long time it was like that. Today you just get them, you know, you get 200 Gmails if you want. Rob Webster, hey there from in the UK. Nice to have you on board. Mark Tuyet, nice to have you here. And nice to have you on board from sunny Florida. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I just did a ETM scan. Let's check out what we are getting from the GP5. China Radio on 5960. China Radio International on 5960.
A washing machine, or else you want to spend most of your day washing clothes, which sounds like a lifestyle of ancient women, very ancient. So the thing is, they really need that washing machine, but they don't have.
So this is China Radio on 5960. A weak station on 7235. 7235. Look on the tablet here. 7235 is 7235. That is, I don't know what that is. All I have here is Voice of Korea, but that doesn't sound like, I don't know, 7235? Anybody has an idea? It's not listed here, except Voice of Korea. I mean, I don't think I'm listening to that. So I don't know what language that is. Just gonna do a little something here, guys. So the picture might freeze for a second. Won't be long. I am going to change a little something. So we are going to play with a little bit of the exposure stuff. There, a little bit more exposure, because it's like a Here we go. So put a little brighter, maybe a little better like this. So 7235, I don't know what that is. That is not in Mandarin, so it's not Korea. Unless it's Iran that's going overboard, but I don't know what 7235 is all about. I don't know if anybody has an idea. This is not Chinese. This is really not Chinese. It sounds some kind of African language or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's I don't know what that is. 7235. Oh, and you couldn't get Facebook without a .edu. Oh, I didn't know that one, Johnny DXer. 123 watching now. That's cool. That is a lot of fun to have all of these people around. Elton Byington says, anyone remember the Finland's BBS that had loads of soft shortwave info? Finland's was also a note of Fidonet, which was a store and forward network. Yep. I remember when Fidonet started having all of these relays of stuff. It was so cool. And all the message boards. I remember, that was one of the first times I saw a shortwave radio related message board on Fidonet. Bill Mead says 8530 signal coming in strong in 28 Netherlands receiver, peaking 10 dB over S9. I hear the woodpecker. Oh no, it's near Denver. Yep, yeah, one. Frédéric, bienvenue de la France, F4 ECA. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Max X Strong is ready to crack open the wine. I need my second beer now. I'm at just finishing my first. China Radio 7285, pretty good.
Then I just don't know how lucrative that could be for a business to want to.
I will open my beer. Take care, PLF Radio. Hey, nice to have you on board, Sheldon.
There's plenty of things out there that one might want to lean or not want to rent. So there's just a lot of unknowns, I feel, if this is really going to become a
beer number 2
business
of
plan.
Fin du Monde.
Well, you mentioned a couple
Hey, Fast
of things.
Load.
You mentioned that the treadmill takes up a lot of space. Well, I think that's the beauty of this type of market is you have that accessibility to other things. There's a lot
This
of
is
things
really
out there.
way too much.
If you don't like the treadmill or you feel like
I'm
it's
gonna have to
not
take
really
a pause.
your needs, you can send it back.
So 7285. 7300 kilohertz is Radio Akbar Mofria HCJB, broadcasting from Warfordton, England. What, no legal pot? Not really. I'm not into that much, Sheldon. That would have been a interesting change to the beer of the on YouTube. WRMI with some music on 93.95. Greece 94.20 with lots of Greek music. WWCR or something on 94.75. We are going to be destroyed. Radio Marti from the United States 9565. Mark T, it says, hey Joel, still using my DGen D1103, thanks to you. It's an amazing radio. Honestly, it's an amazing radio. I use mine all the time. Actually, I've not used it for many weeks. It's time that I actually take it out. I should have taken that DGen today here instead of the PL680. That would have been nice. Mika Delage, nice to have you on board from sunny, warm Sherwood Park, Alberta. So it's like they are building your new studios. Awesome. Yep. My new house and my new studios. That's all the hammering. David Knowles, nice to have you here. All India Radio on 7550 and 9445 at this time. Yeah, should be. Should be. Let me just try 7550. I don't hear nothing. I'm not hearing much here on the All India Radio. So, 11760 Radio Havana, Cuba. Radio Havana, Cuba on 11840. Mishmash stations on 11860, which is probably Radio Marti and Cuba at the same time. WEWN on 12050. WWCR on 13845. And we are back at China Radio. The best frequency for China Radio from Albania transmitter is 7285 right now. Honestly.
You can buy from the original owner, and England is sort of known for the vintage culture, and I've been to quite a lot of these vintage stores in London, and I thought it's so interesting because it becomes a fascinating mirror to see how well off a society and neighborhood is.
There we go.
It's a vintage store in a really wealthy neighborhood.
China Radio 7285 is pretty good signal. Let's try it out here on the 660.
You picked up some really great
Yep, pretty good. Better sound on the 680 though. More rich frequency range of audio. So, oh, you know, Sheldon. It's so funny, Sheldon. I went to a karaoke bar for maybe an hour yesterday. And I told the owner, wow, I'm surprised. I would have thought that that outside place where people go smoke would be smelling pot tonight. And it wasn't. He said, oh, it's still too early. Don't worry, he's going to smell pot later. Brian, Iowa, nice to have you here. Do we have to wait until summer of 2020 to get out of this solar minimum? Pretty much. Hey, there's... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, you see? Man, there's an unknown cat going in my home. Wait, I gotta remove the cat from here. Is he gonna go steal the food? Wow, really? What the hell are you doing? Man, I'm just gonna remove the cat. Sorry, guys. Allez, allez. Va-t'en. Shh. He's actually, like, you know, complaining now. What the hell do you want? Go away. You're not here. Sorry, guys. And of course, Paul the cat now is all intrigued and coming over. Wow. Sorry, guys. I don't want to have an unknown cat. I wouldn't mind, honestly. It's just that I don't want to have a cat that might bring my cat some kind of disease or something, you know? Because it was like going in the house like, oh, hey, I'm here now. So, anyways, okay. Yeah, no weed, fast load. I've not done that since the college times. No HM01 at 11635. There's a signal. There's a strong signal on 11635, but nothing much. Yeah, I know this. I know. Like Fastload says, the stores are getting out of stock. I don't know. I was talking to a guy that I know that smokes weed for a long time, and he told me, I don't care about the stores that sell it now. I'm still gonna get it from the guy that I buy it all the time. So you know what? I don't know up to what point some people will get it through the legal means rather than their favorite whatever guy selling it. Anyways, this is for the Weed Hour show. I'm sure, you know, I'm surprised that nobody There must be a YouTube channel that's up now. It's like the Weed Hour, and you know, from Canada or something. I mean, you gotta jump on the occasion, you know. Smoke weed live on YouTube. Oh, look at that. There's a kind of a radio teletype signal over China radio suddenly. So I don't know. Yeah, it's still not gonna. I'm still not sure that one the next hit strong. It all depends what I have to do. If I have absolutely nothing to do, I think it would be nice. 24 hours New Year's Eve show. But chances are I'm going to be at my brother's probably. So okay. What else do we have? Solar Earthling says Wolferton is the last remaining UK shortwave transmitting station. Let's hope it's around for some time yet. I was actually, I think it's on shortwavelistening.com website that that was mentioning they had an article and pictures of Wolferton. Don't worry, there's no other cat inside. You're the only one. Paul the cat is worried now. He's looking inside like, is there any other cats? No, there's no other cats. Don't worry about it. I mean, that cat. Anyways. Fastload asks some wine and sake. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a way to get drunk. Luis Arevalo, nice to have you on board. Man, I'm not going to drink too much beer. Yeah, pretty much, Fastload. That's how you get a new cat, probably. I mean, that cat has been coming inside a few times, and he's really, really like, hey, hi, I'm here. I mean, he's a beautiful cat, but I know that he's there's new neighbors that moved in next door in the other block in July, and it's since then that cat's been here. And you should have seen the cat when I actually pushed him out on my foot. He looked at me and said meow, like, and it literally mean, what the hell you think you're doing? I'm here and I don't care what you want. No, don't worry. But I noticed that my cat, Paul the cat, is actually seems more worried, as if he's losing his you know, he's kind of scared of losing his spot. And now Paul the cat wants to come here. Want to come here? Here we go. Here we go, mister. Here we go. If you guys want to see Mr. Paul, it's right here. Here's Paul the cat. Hey, Paul. Say hi to everybody. So, anyways, you know, I'm going to keep the door shut for now, because, well, we don't want to have another cat. I already have enough of one cat that's waking me up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't want to have two. Eh? And if he eats like you, it's going to cost me, there's a local joke here, it's going to cost me $75 a week to feed my cat. For those that know the joke of a long-gone Prime Minister of the province of Quebec. Okay. DX2. Oh, man. Old-time music, 7490, says Johnny DXer. Cat invaders. Absolutely. I'm being invaded by cats everywhere. We should all send Jill $1 for that skit. QRM, the cat's trying to steal DX's food. Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl cat. I would have to look at it. I don't think Paul likes him much. Larry Marks, nice to have you here from Hamilton, New Jersey. The weather, not too bad. A little cool. It's, according to my GP5, it's 60 Fahrenheit. It's okay. What else do we have? Going down slowly. Okay, there's a fly on my beer. Donald Hosmer says they want to legalize pot here and Michigan, and if it passes, you still can't take it across the borders. You can't take it about, you know, it's like here. They warned everybody. Don't forget, if you buy weed, you can't go to the United States with it in your car. It's no, go away. He's actually fighting me now. Go away. Shh. Nope. Man, he actually gave me a... okay. Cat fight. Okay, you guys, sorry. I'm going to try to bring it back. This is literally a cat moment. Okay. Yeah, the cat's gone. I'm just... Okay, so I pushed the cat, and the cat actually gave me he hit me with his paw, like, and meowed, like, what are you doing? And then Paul the cat started running after him. Oh, man. Okay. This is a very entertaining outdoor show today, with lots of cats. Okay, oh, 11637. 11635 is HM01 strong. The ETM didn't get it, Richard, because I think I did it before the signal actually was on for 11635. Oh man, Mr. Paul wants to come out again. The cat's gone, I hope. Okay. Growing your own and avoid the taxes. Yeah, I think you're allowed. I think the law lets you like grow a few plants for those that want to do that. Mick, hey, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool to see you, and it's nice to be outside. And I'm going to close the door again because that cat might want to come back. Stuart Hall, nice to have you on board. And yes, I'm outside. Oh God, how did I get the cat out of the house? I went inside and I started kicking him in the butt with my shoe. I was like, hey, get out. But he wasn't moving. It was like, what do you want? I was like, come on, get out. Okay, Max S. Strong. Fettuccine with pesto and garlic. Garlic bread. I'm there. I will be there soon. Yeah, I should have brought a broom. Man. Yeah, it's pretty much that. I live here now. Meow meow. Ronald Zucala, nice to have you on board. The opinion of the ICOM 7300. A lot of people seem to really love it as a transceiver. It seems to be a popular choice, and pretty much all that I've seen on that ICOM 7300 is happy people being really happy with their transceivers. Hey, take care of Bender. It was nice to have you on board. Paul has competition. SBC 383 ZZ, nice to have you here. So no, the meow wasn't even Paul. The meow was the other cat. Oh God.
Quite a bit more complicated because I think on paper it's been defined as normally mentioned.
Oh man. Ronald Hosmer says, great, a local source of cat whiskers for our crystal radios. Yeah. Oh man. So what's so that's what the alligator clips are for. Man. Red Wayne says Paul the X having his girlfriend for dinner. Joe the cat man. Oh God. Joe the cat round 2. Johnny the X has got his fiance's cat Rosie on his chest. Guess that makes me the wanderer. Oh man. It's crazy. It's a catastrophe. Cat with an attitude. I don't know. I need a dog, yeah. Oh man. I gotta tell you one thing, it's just nuts, you know. Maybe I should have more cats over all fighting. I mean, me fighting with cats. Maybe it's gonna bring up the like 300 or 400 people watching. It's just nuts. I actually push the cat with my hand, and he actually gives me, hits me with his paw like, meow, what are you doing? It's like, not my cat. And Paul is gone down now. I wouldn't be surprised that Paul is like curious. Oh God. Yeah, come on, Fastload, go in your bunker and turn on radios. It's that time of year. What's the real story about Trudeau and pigs? I don't get it. Oh God. Okay. Bobby Burgess says, "Got to watch water consumption as QTH. They got a high excess of chlorine, and they didn't follow the protocol. Wow. Talk about getting poisoned by your water." Morrison AV, nice to have you here from Florida. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's a Drake R8 locally on. You know what? If you are getting it at a decent price, honestly, it's a great receiver. Drake R8 are great radios. So Fastload has his SX190 realistic radio, DX302 realistic, and is Yaesu FRG7 daisy chained on the same antenna. Cool. It's a lot of fun. I tend to tune all three of them. Take care, Sheldon, and have a nice barbecue. I had I had hamburgers to do on the barbecue. I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday, and I fired up the barbecue, heated up, put the patties, and as soon as I put the patties, no more gas. So I had to do the hamburgers on the stove. I'll go and get one this weekend. I barbecue in the winter, so why not? So take care, Sheldon. Steve in Australia, nice to have you on board. Dan Walsh says it's the Shortwave Cat Show. Yep, free sample copy of the CIDX Messenger bulletin, a great bulletin that you get every month. CIDXclub@yahoo.com. You can ask for a sample copy. It's very inexpensive, $10 a year, $45 for 3 years if you want to be a member and get that very nice bulletin, the Messenger PDF publication. So if you want to have a little sample copy of what it looks like, don't hesitate. CIDXclub@yahoo.com. Pretty cool. What else do we have? What else do we have? That's not too bad. The price on the a brand new IC 7300 is not that bad actually for a transceiver. Mountain Valley has the original R8, excellent receiver, controls, and RS222 interface, much better than the on the R8B. Yeah, they made some modifications actually. They made it a little better. What the hell happened? I heard like this hammering and then some yelling. Did he hammer his thumb or something? Vianney Arsenault says the cat wants a fin du monde. Woo. Actually, Paul did. Every time I have that, he actually smells it. Like, okay. Well, that would be nice. The official meow channel. That could be nice. This is the official meow channel. Paul the cat, 24 hours a day, all the time. People would actually like that, I'm pretty sure. Can I get 5197? What's there? F4 IDL says, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Max Headstrong says, every time he comes back to the Drake, he appreciates it even more. Donald Hosmer says, I had the R8 till I upgraded to a general license, W8 SWL. Got the ICOM IC7200 with the DSP filters. It beat out the R8 that got retired after 25 years of listening. Wow. David says, now with cat control. Yep. Well, you know, fast load. It's like the radios. They're priced. They're priced at a they're very expensive because they don't sell that many, and so you know they try to get back their money for all the engineers that designed it and so on. I don't have that much of a problem paying a high price for a radio, but it needs to be good. I mean, it needs to be good. I don't regret paying $17.50 Canadian for my ICOM ICRD 500 brand new. No problem with that. But the radio needs to be good. I mean, I want to have a good one, good radio, for sure. Dual cat control, to be more exact. Yes, I do have ads on YouTube. This is what monetizes my content and makes my paycheck. Luis Arevalo. Yeah, the Mega Millions in the United States is Chris Freitas, and we talked about it at the beginning. $1 billion. Wow. Have you reviewed a Grundig satellite? I've heard they aren't so great anymore. Grundig isn't what it used to be. Grundig today is not Grundig. It's it's whatever's left of the name and the brand. So you can't expect anything new that's Grundig to be what it used to be. Grundig, when it was German and controlled by German, was a German company. Even though they made, like everybody else, at some point they made their radios in Taiwan or China or whatever. But still, there was a minimum of quality that they required, and that helped out. So Grundig is not anymore. It's just a name today. It ain't what they use it because it has a good name and it's used, but I can tell you there's some great Grundig crap out there. I can tell you that. Oh, David Cameron and the pigs. No, I didn't hear. It doesn't ring a bell. I haven't seen anything that David Cameron and the pig. Yeah, Longueuil Hamfest tomorrow, absolutely. But I won't be there, Fast Load. I wanted to go, but the problem is I won't be available. I have to go tomorrow morning, and I'll be back like early afternoon. So I can't go because I would have asked you. I was thinking a couple of weeks back, so I'm gonna go, but I won't be available. So hope you enjoy. If you see something cool and interesting at a reasonable price, text me. I'll pay you back. Just text me and let me know what's there, and if you find anything interesting, or unless you want to keep it and have it as a treasure. Fast load. Watch the cat if the hamburger's outside. Yeah, $1 billion. That's incredible for a lottery. $1 billion, man. Man. Donald Hosmer says, always keep a spare 20-pound propane tank around. Was doing ribs once, and the gas gave out. Bummer. Yeah. But I was stretching it because I had done a lot of barbecues, so I was like, I'm probably really near the end of that propane tank, and yeah, it was off. Chris Freitas, want to talk about death? Yeah, got a lot of things. I also want to. I'd like to get myself a an Icon my CR 8600. Don't have the cash for it. Brett Wayne barbecues in the winter in New York too. Yeah, I don't mind barbecuing in the winter, honestly. So it's like and it's so much. It tastes so much better. Anything you barbecue tastes so much better. Okay, Richard, I was a little late probably. F4IDL says I catch a Chinese time signal in WWV2. Good time to walk the dogs. Fastlow's got one of those electronic QRM eliminator. Oh. What's Sepulchral Miasma? What's the name of those 3 resources for stations again? 2 were text lists and 1 was a database you search in a search engine. You talked about it one day. I can't find the vid now. Okay, for the main one I use for text is eibi space.de, and I'll put it in the chat room here. Eibi space. Oh, my comma in dots don't work anymore. Space.de. Wow. eibi space.de. That's one, and this one is one of the best because it's updated all the time. And probably the most complete list, anyways, for transmissions on shortwave in any language, by time or by frequency. If you want to search a frequency because you've been tuning around and you find something you want to know what you're listening to. So there's short-wave.info. Short-wave.info. That is also a nice one. That one you can search a frequency. It has an interface, so you can search a frequency. You have a map of the transmitting station where it is, the overall area where it's transmitting to, stuff like that. So that's also a nice one to check out. One of the interesting lists also is AOKI, AOKI, Alpha Oscar Kilo India. It's a Japanese club that has and maintains that list. And what's nice about it is that it's updated with people really listening in, actually, to stations. And it has some entries sometimes that you won't see anywhere else. And that one's updated like every day. It's pretty amazing. So, you got to buy your own shortwave station, Chris Freitas. Absolutely. Buy your own shortwave station. Morrison Navy, do I like my SDR as much as the tabletop? Yes. I have to say it. I like my software-defined radio as much as my tabletop, absolutely. But it's different. And when you have a good SDR, what happens is that you get used to the waterfall and all the signals that you see everywhere, and it's difficult to get away from that, because I don't know how many times I've listened to a station and tuned the station, and basically because I saw it in the waterfall, and I would never have noticed it was there if it wasn't for the fact that I've seen it in the waterfall. So it's when you get a good SDR, it's hard to really get. It's a little dark, eh? Let me just go to the source again. It's getting really dark here. There's something weird. Usually I leave my camera on automatic brightness, but today for some reason the automatic brightness was kind of crappy. So I don't know why. I'll check this out. Apply. OK. Here we go. So this should be okay. And 1 2 1 2. Everything's frozen. Oh God. There we go. And everything is back, and it's a little more bright now. So that's better. I don't know why. Usually I leave it on the automatic stuff, and it works fine. And today it doesn't want. I don't know. These, there's updates sometimes, and you're like, what? So, what else do we have? Let's go down here. Elton Byington's got two R8s, original and R8B. Ergonomics R8B are much better, but the two radios are about equal in performance. Cool. That's cool. First, let's still have that Toshiba RP F11 and a 12-volt battery waiting for you here. Yeah, we need to get together, Fastload, and have a beer. I need to go to your place. I mean, there's no excuse. I need to get to your place, Fastload. With all that's happening recently in my life, you're a little more, you know a little more about what's happening. Not that much, but you know a little more. I need to get to your place, and we need to have. I'll bring a pack of Fenzimone, and we'll have a guys' night in the shack with radios and electronic stuff. You know, a real guy den thing. You know, it's like really man cave moment, as we call it. So, man, yeah, it's like Sony, Jerry. It's like Sony. I mean, Sony shortwave radios, in general, were really good. And if Sony would do shortwave radios, that would probably be good shortwave radios, honestly. Charlie SL55, nice to have you on board from Baltimore. Bobby Burgess, yep, tomorrow is the RTL SDR. I will be tweaking and playing with it tonight to kind of have it ready for tomorrow. Any new information about John Titor and the Mandela effect? Not really. Anybody has? By the way, just going to say that if you enjoy what I do, I'll just annoy you for a few seconds. You can send me donations at paypal.me/shortwave, or it can be sent to the Yahoo email that I am posting right now. You can also join in 11 patrons at patreon.com and /shortwave radio /radio and computers, sorry. And that is another place where you can join in and give me a little something if you enjoy what I do. I take a lot of time to do these live shows. Please consider a little something. And especially if you've been listening for a long time and never donated any pennies, why not think about it? And of course, if you don't want to use the electronic stuff, you can write to me an email and say, hey, I want to have your postal address. And you can send me an international postal money order. And I'll be happy to exchange it. So thanks everybody that donated. And it's nice to have all of you here. So tomorrow's a VHF UHF show, absolutely. And it's going to be with the RTL SDR and HD SDR software. I'm going to check that out. Chris Freitas says, I like my RTL SDR while the performance is not on the same level as tabletop. There is some functionality in software that most tabletops have for a fraction of the price. Yeah, very visual too. Yep. Jerry has already a spare tank. Yeah, I know. I should have. So. Oh, that's good, Fastlane. That is good. That's a good way of getting your ham license. Chris Freitas says, CHU is pretty weak here in Memphis, but I'm pulling it on its Texan PL310ET, about 20 dB. Nice to have you here. What else do we have? What else do we have? What else? Yeah, Waterfall is really, really, really nice. Oh, Caro needs to fix their modulation. They've been needing to fix their modulation for 20 years. It's odd that, you know, you spend so much money on broadcasting and you just don't do anything to fix the audio of your transmitter. I don't understand that one, honestly. I really don't understand that one. Chris Freitas says, yeah, I will have to get in based in Canada so I can use the call letters CFOR. Aha. Yeah, I guess there was probably a station, yeah. Was band scanning today simultaneous on the Drake and Icom R8600. Great fun. Cool. Mick says, just bought an old Sony 7600D. Great fun. Yep. And Jill said there'd be light. Yep. Yeah, rigpix.com is nice. And you know what? Rigpix is also very nice when you're looking for old radios that you just can't find much info about today. They often have a lot of stuff there that you can find on pretty much any radio. So it's pretty cool for that. Donald's Hosmer, R8600. I'm jealous. ARL is auctioning one right now, starting bid 2,500. Wow. Wow. Okay. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Yeah, it's true. Arbitron and the SDR Sharp combo. Yeah, I'll be checking that out tomorrow for sure. No problem, Walkabout 39. We're here for that. We're here to help you out. Take care, Alton Byington. It's nice to have you on board. And we're almost 2 hours into the show. It's getting a little cold now. I know it says here 60 Fahrenheit on the GP5, but I don't know if it's the wind or it's the fact that I'm not moving. But I'm kind of a little chilly right now. So I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We're at 2 hour mark. 2 hour mark right now. Not bad. 2 hour mark. Oh, man. Okay, we're going to do another ETM scan. I'm going to do a few things, guys. I will get my jacket because it's a little cold. I will check on Paul the Cat to see where he is. And I will go pee because I am at this moment where beer wants to get out a little more than it's getting in. So, I don't know if we have a station for you. Yep. So I'm leaving you with Voice of Turkey, and we are back in a minute or two with a little jacket on and more radio stuff. Ellen 321, nice to have you here. So here we go. Try not to break anything.
Korea seems possible. Europe and Japan ready. First off, for 7-week journey to Mercury. And now the details of the news. Triple makes life miserable for tourists anywhere in the world. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Friday, while we had difficulty to travel with her, even at our borders until recently, today we make life miserable for tourists anywhere in the world, from Iraq to Syria, from Europe to Central Asia. President Erdogan said at the opening ceremony for the new academic year at Rockefeller University in Western Israel province. As mentioning Turkey's humanitarian efforts, Erdogan said Turkey gains world appreciation is its humanitarian stand, along with its prosperous operations to protect the country's security. Eclipses are still alive in Syria at a time when everyone turns back on Syria. The biggest share belongs to Turkey, he said. And we go back to the host. More than 2.5 million Syrians.
Here we go. With my leather jacket. Hey everybody, we're back with a leather jacket. And we're kind of better now. It's warmer. So, okay. This got to be first. Wearing a jacket to do a live show tonight. So, but you know, with a leather jacket, we're okay. So we are back. We are back. Okay. Let's check out what's happening on the chat. Richard Cook's got a very strong buzzer on 4625, so nice to have you here. LN321. Intermission, says Johnny the Xer. Put the cat on. Yeah, that would work. That would work. Cat. If I put Paul the cat on my shoulders. Frederic F4ECA. Nice to have you here. Yes, buzzer very strong tonight. Pretty cool. Let's get that chair is stuck. Okay. Thank you, Johnny the Xer. So, on the Canadian version of the Fonz. Hey. Oh man, the Fonz. Wow, that brings back so many souvenirs of my teenage years. Happy days. Take care, Vianney. Toujours un plaisir. Tomorrow, VHF, UHF show, if you're there. So pretty cool. Simon Templar, nice to have you here. Yep, another show. It's a little cold tonight, though. It was okay this afternoon. It's getting a little cooler now. So, hey, we're at 22:05 UT. Let's do an ETM scan and see what's there. Yeah, 6501 upper sideband is Chesapeake, Virginia weather. There we go. 6501. That's whoops. Chesapeake, Virginia weather. 6501 upper sideband. So while the other one's doing an ETM scan. What else do we have? Brett Wayne has a Sony DFM 1000 WA from the 60s. It's a great radio. Wow, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Cool, Vianney. Bonsoir. Mick says buzzer on 4625 audible on his 7600D indoors. Just on the whip. So, pretty cool. The buzzer is pretty strong in Europe. I was tuning around SDR.HU receivers, Kiwi SDR receivers from around Europe. And pretty much from everywhere, the buzzer was a very strong signal. Almost anywhere I would tune around. It was pretty amazing. And here I've heard it a little bit, I don't know. Last time I heard it was about a month ago. I received it a little bit a month ago. But I don't know. Let's try it out just for the fun of it on a portable. Yeah, nothing here. Nothing on 46, not on portable at least. But I wonder, I've never heard it on a portable receiver. That would be a first for me, receiving the buzzer 4625 on a portable radio. Okay, so you're watching the Shortwave live show from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and yes, I am dressed up because now it's getting a little cold, especially when you just don't, how planes here, there's planes all the time. They're all passing overhead. So, I could actually tune the PL680 to the air band, and then you guys hear the planes, for sure. So, I don't know if yeah, 18.9. That's 119. Yeah. Here, we're going to put this. 11990, I think, is one of the frequencies. You guys are going to hear some airband stuff, probably. What's this buzzer, by the way? Says sepulchral miasma. Does anyone know what it actually is or where it's originating from? So, yeah, it's originating from Russia. It's a military station. It's kind of the buzzer is there to maintain that frequency as a way to say that this is our frequency and we are here. And the buzzer, when you put a buzzer or anything on a frequency that's a regular interval, of course it will kind of make the other signals not be there, because if somebody puts a transmitter on with some communications, they're not going to put it on that frequency because they hear that and it will interfere. So it's kind of a way of maintaining a frequency. And from time to time, people that have been listening, and if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of videos. There's a few videos of actual voice communications through it. So it's kind of a mix of number station, military station. It's a very mysterious thing. It is military, and it is from somewhere outside of Moscow, or I don't remember. Somebody telling me it was like close to St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm not really sure exactly where it is. I remember seeing something here. That's probably the plane that was just up here talking right now. There we go. 119.9. So this is not a VHF UHF show, but it's just to give you guys an idea of what do we hear. So let's put it on the shortwave bands now. Back on the shortwave bands. Okay, we're gonna check out the ETM scan is done. So it's a military installation, that's for sure. So really a military. Yeah, well, it's never been. Richard says voice is rare on this. It's never been much. It's never been much active. It's from time to time, but there's a few videos where you'll hear some, and they're maintaining it, so it means that they're keeping it active for some reason. That's for sure. Paul Peters, hey there, says buzzer is very strong in England on is portable. Pretty cool. Frederic F4 ECA 9420 kilohertz, Greece plus 60 dB here. 9420. Yep, with some music, very strong here too. It's full scale. Full scale. It's almost like a local station on my Texan PL680. So pretty cool. Hey Firefly, nice to have you here. G8SBS, John, with radio and telescope, stargazing, very clear sky. Cool. That's a great mix. I remember doing that early when I was younger, when I had a 6-inch refractor telescope, and I would do some astronomy and shortwave at the same time. Great mix. You're listening to shortwave signals, stations all around the world. And you try to find, anything from something fell on my head. Try to find something off of, the universe. Great mix, honestly. Donald Hosmer says, I was near it on a June cruise from Moscow to St. Petersburg, but Viking didn't offer any excursion trips to tour the buzzer. No, I'm pretty sure they did not. Pretty sure. iMapper says 4625 was near Moscow, but then it was moved to the northwest. So yeah, I remember reading a story about the fact that it was very near Moscow, Russia at some point, and moved. I don't know, somebody. I don't remember where. I kind of read somewhere that it was positioned more like near St. Petersburg or something now. I don't know. I really don't know. That's some of the mysteries of shortwave. Simon Templar said, my friend Simon in the UK made a contact on 20 meters with the ARL W1AW station a couple of days ago. Pretty slick. Cool. Yeah, they often have stations on the air that do all sorts of contacts. It's always kind of nice to hear. Richard Cook has China on 9410. Red Wind says, I have a 530-foot loop for transmit on 160-meter band. Cool. That's cool. What else do we have? Mick H says, the gloom is descending again, Jill. Looks like the sun's gone down. Yes, it is. The sun is gone now. I am in a weird... It looks weird. It almost looks Photoshop, like a weird thing up here in the sky with the tree line. It's kind of weird. Because here it's pretty dark. Let me just... I'm going to try something. It's going to freeze for a few seconds, guys. Just going to try something here. I'll try to put it back to automatic and see if it's so autofocus will remove that. Automatic, apply. What does it look like? This is horrible. That's the automatic setting. I don't know why it doesn't. Nah, that's no good. Look at that. That's the automatic setting. It should not be this dark. What's wrong with the automatic setting? I don't get it. So I'll put the exposure manually. There you go. Fly. Okay. That's pretty dark also. Just gonna check out what I look like. What? Oh man. Wow, this is so weird. Put it a little brighter. You know what? My camera fell down yesterday, and I'm wondering if it didn't affect the camera. The fact that it actually fell on the floor. There we go. We'll leave it like this. We'll leave it like this. There we go. That ain't too bad. At least the principal is seen. We're pretty good. So yeah, the camera fell down on the floor yesterday, and it might have done something, honestly. Cuban lady on 10715. 10715. Oh wow, it's really strong too. 10715 HM01, the Cuban number station. Look at that, very, very strong. Full scale.
5, 8, 7, 7, 8.
Very powerful on my Texan PL680. I'm going to do a ETM scan. Well, it won't scan that frequency range. Wow, I've rarely heard the HM01 station so strong. Amazing. 10715 HM01 Cuban lady is really strong here. Pretty cool. Early Halloween setting. Yeah, it's some kind of nice bluish, grayish bluish sky. Frame rate is low? Really? Let's check it out here. I don't know, it's weird. Everything looks normal here. I don't know. So I guess when I move too fast, it looks like pixelated. There's something weird happening. That's why I was a couple of minutes late today. There's something that's just not like the usual, and I just couldn't figure out what exactly changed. So, you know, it's weird. Yes, Randy, it is cool. You know, I thought maybe this could be one of the last ones, so why not? Why not do it? You know, then it's gonna be too dark, too cold to actually do one. And I got another beer left, and I'm sitting outside with my jacket with like 300-watt spots that every neighbor's probably looking at and saying, "What the hell is that guy doing with all these spots and you know, whatever." I don't know. Burgundy shoulders. Yeah, because I got this is actually brown. I got brown pads on the shoulder. Technically, they might look burgundy on the camera, but they're brown actually. Jolly SL says stream rock solid in Baltimore. Cool, cool, cool. The camera here is set at 60 frames per second, but I don't know. It gets choppy when I move fast. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was seeing also when I started the show. That the when I moved fast, it was very choppy. So I gotta like just stay, you know, without moving in anything. So the important thing is that the content's there. But I gotta there's many things I gotta change. Hey, I'll open the third beer, which is staying cold because I mean it's really cold actually, because it's cold outside anyways. So third, this is my third fin du monde for the night on a Friday evening outside. We got new neighbors in. Okay, I'll let you guys in. I didn't say anything, but so on the other side of the backyard here, we have new neighbors, and they since I started the show, they've been peeking at the window every 10 minutes and kind of wondering what's happening on the balcony on the other side with all the lights and everything. And they look like totally, you know, just wondering what the hell is happening. I mean, wow. It's kind of funny to be here. I have the impression of being in some kind of really, you know, isolated sunshine event. Fast load. My SX190 doesn't go to 10715. Oh, it has only the international broadcast bands. Fast load. Sad. I'm scaring the neighbors. Absolutely, Mike Setstrom. I'm pretty sure. The only one that knows is there's a woman in the little house on the other side. I talk to her all the time. And when I did my first show this summer outside on the balcony, she said, "Hey, the other night you were on your balcony with lights and you were talking loud. What were you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm doing live shows on YouTube." And she said, "Oh, this is so cool." So when I set up before the show, she was sitting outside on her deck, and she looked at me and she said, "Hey, how are you doing? Setting up for a show tonight?" And I said, "Yeah, exactly. I'm setting up for a YouTube show tonight." Romania strong on any 760. Let's check that out. 976. Yep. Radio Romania 9760. It has deep fades, but it's there.
Conservation state and to allow for optimum harvesting culture in line with European legislation on hunting and protecting the hunting stock. Here's Professor Nick with more.
So 9760 Radio Romania 9760. Not too bad here with the signal. Neighbors applauding a sweat shell. You know. Look, let's face it, guys, okay? Say you don't know anything about what's happening, okay? And a guy sits on his balcony with 100-watt spots in his face. He talks loud. What do you guys think? You know, you have no idea what that guy's doing. You think he's just nuts. And I actually like it. It's just like, you know, it's just, that's a lot of big color. I need a canopy on my balcony. And the fact is that, like Donald Hosmer says, shortwave is considered weird. You know what? A question comes to mind. Was shortwave ever something cool for... What I mean by that, okay, because Among Us, it's super cool. I mean, shortwave rocks and it's great. But did at any point in time, even in the 60s, 70s, when shortwave was in the prime of its life, did at any time it not feel weird? Honestly? Did at any time it not feel weird? I think at whatever time, even in the 60s, 70s, a shortwave radio listener was a weird guy in his basement tuning radios. You know? I don't know. You know. Jay Waterston, yes, officer, that man in the leather jacket stole a cat. Actually, they, it's so funny because the lady is running after a cat all the time. And after the time, the cat is up here and wants to get in. Hey, Mr. Paul is back. Want to go back in? Here we go. Paul the cat is back from his walk. But, you know, it's like, okay, you're in my backyard looking for your cat, you know? And she's running around all the time looking for a cat, and her cat after the time is on my balcony up here and like, hey man, go away. You know. Thank you, Frederic. Cheers. I'll just empty the bottle here. Shouldn't be too bad. And we're almost here. It's so cold I have the impression that the color on my beer looks like ice cream. So anyways, I hope you guys are just enjoying this. What else do we have? Hey, Free Saxon, nice to have you here. And no, I'm not a biker. I'm more like a rocker. We always enjoyed having leather jackets. I feel like a rock star. I don't know. I'm the rock star guy. I'm the rock star of shortwave. Cheers, everyone. Beer number 3, as we are now into our, let me just change something here. Here. 2 hours and 22 minutes of live show of shortwave radio. Oh, that's interesting, Fastland. Okay. Sepulchral Miasma says, oh man, la fin du monde, I drink that down here in Windsor too. That's a strong one. Thank you, wonderful Frenchman, for brewing that beauty. Actually, you know what? It's not even any more beautiful Frenchman, because they've been, Unibrew has been purchased by Sleeman, which is, I guess, owned by that Japanese company. What's the name? I forgot the name. Sapporo. So Sapporo owns Sleeman, that owns Unibrew, which means technically it's a Sapporo beer. You know, there was a interesting article about beer. Actually, it's a TV show where they were talking about beer, and they were saying that the majority of what we think of imported beer from other countries is now brewed by 2 or 3 major breweries, and that the exotic side of having imported beer is not there anymore, because it's like, yeah, well, you know, when you're drinking that Heineken, it's actually from that company. It's not like it used to be before. Unibrew used to be a small brewery. It was actually started here by a Quebecois singer that's called Robert Charlebois he had started that with a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends of his. And then Sleeman bought Unibo. And of course, Sapolo bought Sleeman. So it's like, okay, it's like, a few companies are kind of owning everything now. It's just crazy. Oh, man. Matam Bali says, I didn't know anyone else to listen to shortwave back in the 60s, 70s, or 80s. Pretty much, eh? Firefly said, no, it was always really wild. I guess it was always a weird thing having or doing shortwave radio. Richard Cook, 7410, possibly Vatican radio. Okay. Good fences make good neighbors. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Hey, Sakura DX. Nice to have you here. Says he's back from his duty on board while on board tuned to many stations with my Bonito Whip Marine. Whenever Thunder comes, I'm really scared of the damage. Yeah. I think Thunder and Lightning is our enemy. Rick Robbins, nice to have you here. Thanks. Cheers. Johnny the Extra. Letter is better. Donna Osmer says, shortwave is more common in Europe. I never have issues with Euro custom guys seeing my radios in a carry-on. Huh. Interesting. It's a crystal radar receiver. Oh, really, Fastland? I didn't know that. It's true. You gotta, you gotta have crystals for the frequencies you're listening to. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's kind of cool, though. It's almost like that, Everything's going to be Chinese soon. We'll be drinking Chinese beer, tuning our Chinese radios. I'll be streaming from my Chinese computer with a Chinese-made camera with Chinese lighting. And I'll be speaking Mandarin during the show. It's soon to be happening. Brandon Wayne says he chased the cat down the street. Now he can eat in peace. Yeah, that's probably it. James Hauser, nice to have you on board. I'm looking in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He's part of Canada. And it's nice to have you on board. Where are you located, James? It's always fun to know where everybody is. It's always fun to have everybody here and know where they are from. Morrison AV says microbrews are getting huge in my area of Florida. There's a Microsoft journalist, Mary Jo Foley, and she is a really a big fan of craft beer, and she always gives these amazing tips for craft beer that's amazing. I need to definitely kind of get in there and try more of them for sure. William Helm says, definitely think 1962 around here, though I wasn't born yet. Cuba is 235 miles south of Florida. My dad fitted diesel to the naval blockade of the army. Wow. No, it's crazy times. I was watching the BBC documentary Cold War on YouTube the other day. I mean, that moment of the Cuban blockade and the missiles in Cuba. Crazy times. Crazy times. It could have changed and everything, and we would not be here today doing what we're doing right now with a live show. Below 30 megahertz, I kind of agree. I don't like Heineken. I feel it smells like skunk, and I don't like the taste of it. But, when nothing is else around, yeah. Mikhail says, brewed under license locally. There's a lot of that here in England and probably everywhere else. Yeah, probably sure. Islander 101, what radio do you have? Well, right now I'm using a Countycom GP5 and a Texan PL680, but I got tons of other radios. My main receivers are a ICOM ICR 8500 and a Fedri SDR, software defined radio. So let's do a ETM scan. I'm just gonna restart the ETM scan, and we're gonna check out when it's over. Max Strong. Anyone remember the Top Cat cartoon from the 60s? He was an alley cat that lived in a garbage can with antennas on top. Strange. Oh, wow. Okay. Good evening, Rick Robbins. Always nice to have you here. Officer Dibble. Oh, God. There's so many things like that. So many things like that. Fastlot says, I wish to find a lamp-driven HF radio tomorrow. Oh, that'd be nice. A tube shortwave radio. I'd like to have, you know what, Fastlot? One of my dreams would be to have one of these big wooden cabinet tube radios that have shortwave and medium wave on it. In good working order, I'd love to have one of those. I don't know where I'd put it, but I would find a place for it for sure. I mean, it's just amazing. So, you know. Brett Wayne says, I have a lot of people ask about AM radio all the time, KC2 and XP. Huh, interesting. Hey, James Hauser in Pennsylvania, USA. Sakura DX says, talking about the beer, we have Sapporo Kirin Asahi here in Japan. I do recommend everyone try Asahi Super Dry and to come to Japan and try yakitori. You know, my nephew Gabriel is a big fan of Japanese culture, and he actually studied Japanese and wanted to. Actually, one of his dreams is to go to Japan, and he always has Sapporo beer here all the time. Every time he comes over, he has Sapporo all the time. Highlander 101 says, just got in from my ham radio class and saw your show on from England. Pretty cool. Now that's fun. Coming in from a ham radio class, you're in the hype of radio, and you have this guy from somewhere else around the world that is actually doing radio stuff. It's pretty cool. Hey B, nice to have you here from Scotland. No other manufacturer started off with a radio in a series like the Sony 7600 series, and you really need to get the 7600 JR in your collection. I know, Tim. You know what? I almost purchased a 7600 JR from Amazon about a year and a half ago, and I should have got it. It was on sale, and I regret not getting it, honestly. I know it's a great radio, honestly. I know it is an amazing, great radio, for sure. For sure. Well, you know what, Max Armstrong? What is interesting is I was talking that with Sheldon. You know, when I go to the International Radio Report on CKUT, we often talk a little bit before and after the show, and even at the CIDX barbecue. And we were talking how I was able and how I am capable of actually bringing a bunch of radio guys using a new technology, which is YouTube, honestly. YouTube is a new technology. And you know, bringing shortwave radio listeners and amateur radio listeners that often use older radio technology. And we're kind of here together and bringing all of that together. New and old technologies. It's kind of cool, you know? Kind of cool. Mick says, I'll eventually upgrade to the 7600 JR when I can find one at a reasonable price. It was at one point on sale on Amazon. Here in Canada, it was always 179 Canadian dollars. And it was at one point, it went down to 139 Canadian dollars on sale. I should have snagged it at that time. I know it's a great radio, honestly. Islander 101, out of the two radios you have, why one is best? Of these two, PL680 for two things. Keypad entry, very good sensitivity. Another thing I would say is a pretty good sync detector. You know, I would, if I had to choose, I would choose the PL680 here. easy to tune around, and it's good radio in general. CountyCom GP5, also known as the Texan PL365, is not a bad radio. The lack of a keypad really makes it difficult to tune around. Ray Erdink, nice to have you on board from Leeds, UK. Pretty cool. Man. What else do we have? Chris Freitas says, in Memphis there have been breweries popping up left and right like Crosstown. Memphis made Whisker and Ghost River in High Corner. Wow. There's a lot of local small breweries popping up everywhere, honestly. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. The Texan PL600 is good. You'll enjoy it. Its only fault, if I had a fault to give, is its harsh audio. But there are some mods on the internet where you can actually fix it and try to make the audio better. So what else do we have? Hey, William Moser, nice to have you on board. It's always cool to have everybody here, honestly. It's really a lot of fun to have people from everywhere, actually, and have everyone around. Pretty cool. So what else do we have? Yeah, the R5000 is a big problem. I don't know what's happening with it, but if I have one positive point of the R5000, is it was made and was used a lot for almost 20 years of its life. So at least it did have a great radio life, the Kenwood R5000, but it's an amazing receiver. So Ah, man. Okay, so what did I get? Oh, the batteries are dead. No, the batteries are dead? Yeah, batteries are close to be dead. Okay. That's why it stopped. Okay. I'll still try a last ETM scan if I can. Hope everybody's enjoying the show today. From a little colder than usual, than this afternoon, Montreal. And it is a battery pig, absolutely. You know what? I had left the rechargeable batteries in it, and I think I haven't used the GP5 for maybe 2 weeks. So I'm not surprised that the rechargeable batteries are already dead on it. For sure. Terry Cook, nice to have you on board. Yep, Jamboree on the air tomorrow, which is always nice, by the way. For those that want to tune in, it's always kind of cool to listen in to all these people, all these young scouts trying their hand at amateur radio. It's always a lot of fun to listen to that. There's some kind of magic. You kind of feel the magic of all the young generation into the in the amateur field. What's the best indoor antenna for a Kenwood R600? Indoor? Well, probably I'd say that get a loop, magnetic loop of some sort. Pretty much. It's pretty much what I would say. Honestly, I think magnetic loop would be the thing to get. Like Richard Cook. Richard Cook's got a Walbrook inside his home in the window, and he's getting amazing DX. So maybe something like that, or W6 LVP loop, which is also a good choice. So it's pretty much, but it's very difficult to talk about great radios like the Kenwood R600 or tabletop models, and then the same phrase say, "Oh, a good indoor antenna," you know. So a Walbrook or a W6 LVP might be a good one. That could be something interesting for 22. Let's try out the RAF Vomit. Yeah, RAF Vomit. Royal Air Force Varmint 5450, but it's not as strong as I would usually hear it. Shannon Vomit in Ireland 5505, also coming in. Not too bad, not too bad. Max S. Strong says my MFJ 1786 is my best above 10 megahertz antenna. Wow, interesting. Islander 101 says I did hear about the bad sound on the Texan 600. I have a small speaker where I will attach to it and no longer used on my ham radios. Yeah, that might help. That might help, absolutely. William Helm says in a 12 by 12 room, wind wire near the ceiling 5 times around the room. That'd be interesting to try here. That would be very interesting to try out. Or do some kind of loop. Hey, you're watching the Shortwave show from Montreal, Quebec. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes and there's 100 people watching, which is pretty amazing when you think about the fact that, I mean, people like to hear me blabber, apparently. And I'm starting to get a little tipsy here with the beer outside. I can tell you guys that. I'm a little tipsy. Just looking here, somebody sent me some message or something a little earlier. No, it's okay. Oh, okay, I got it. It's kind of a loop back of when I posted my my message earlier. Remember guys, if you enjoy the William Helm of antenna fame. If you enjoy what I do, I'll be posting once again the last time the information. PayPal.me, not .com, .me /shortwave is where you can actually send me a little something if you like what I do, or you can send it to the Yahoo email that I just posted. If you're on PayPal, it is used to maintain these shows, make sure that they continue. If you like what I do, if you like being around with radio geeks and you love this, well, you know what, it takes a lot of time to do. It takes a lot of effort. I mean, I got to be here. I'm here pretty much all the time, every Fridays and every second Saturday. If you enjoy what I do, why not think about sparing a little something and helping me out? It helps pay for, you know, all the equipment, and it's a lot of it's, you know, a lot of work. I do take a lot of time. Patreon.com/radio and computers. You can join in. Join 11 patrons, give me a little something every month, and you know what, really does make a difference, honestly. Without your donations, I would not gone through last year, for sure. This year, I'll be very honest. I want to be honest with everybody. Monetization, not bad at all this year and this month. I've got one of the biggest monetization months ever from YouTube, and it's a pretty good year. So, you know, I've got to be fair with that. And somebody did something or fell or whatever. And so thanks for everybody that have donated. Some of you are very generous. And whatever amount you give, it doesn't matter. You know, if everybody, like we like to say, if everybody watching would give $1, I mean, $1 is a very small amount for most people. It would amount for a pretty big amount of money, actually, and will help a lot. So thanks for everybody that donated, by the way. I'm always trying to get to, you know, the people that have watched and are watching this and been watching for years and enjoy what I do. Why not think of a little something, spare a little money? It's cool. It helps a lot. And don't forget, if you don't want to use these electronic things, you can send me an email at officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com. Say, hey, I want to send you an international postal money order. I'll give you my postal address, and it's kind of cool. Thanks, everybody that donated, by the way. It's always fun to, you know, to be here. Okay, what else do we have? Revelda 65. I have an end-fed antenna strung around the top of my bedroom wall, and it gets some good signals. So that's good. Anything that works, honestly, you know? Smoke weed and you'll strobe her up. Yes, Bobby. I will show it. Okay. I'm going to show Bobby Burgess shack. So here is picture number 1. We're going to check out that it comes out right. Picture number 1. There we go. We'll try to remove the lighting spots. And picture number 2 on the other angle. This one is better. So this is picture number 2. With an SDR receiver plugged in on a laptop. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. So thanks for sharing that, Bobby. It's always nice to have all of this. And trying to keep the door closed so that the it doesn't get too cold inside. Okay, you're watching the Shortwave show, 2 hours and 46 minutes. I really have a lot of you know, I talk all the time. Jerry DX, no, I will not fall off the balcony. Although, you know what? Since I've been living here for 18 years. The backyard stairs are they're kind of, the angle is like, whoa. So every time I get out in the wintertime when it's icy, I always think that someday I'll step on the ice and just fall down three stories to the backyard. I don't know. It's just crazy. Okay. Yes, Simon Templar. Thank you very much. I did get the donations. Absolutely, absolutely. I do remember. Thanks for the donation, Simon. Very, very much appreciated. Test tones on 7275. Nothing here. Nothing here. Larry Marks, you have a great radio voice like Art Bell. Everybody tells me I've got an amazing voice for videos and radio. So, you know. Do you use an antenna extender on your radios? If so, which one? No. I've just plugged alligator clips to my sloper antenna. That's it. I got a tap down there for the sloper antenna. So all I did was put alligator clips to the tap that I've left for sure. Okay. What else do we have? Yeah, fast load is generous, absolutely. You know, I think the best fast load gave me what probably is one of the most beautiful Christmas gifts in, man, the past 10 years at least. Last year when he actually gave me the Grandic Satellite Transistor 6001. Nah, fast load. I'm gonna keep quiet. I've been going a little too much out at the bars, and I want to, you know, we'll find some way to meet up outside of Zoe's. Maybe go out to your place or something in the next weeks or so. I'm gonna stay quiet tonight. Brett Wayne, when I was a kid, I had wire around my bedroom ceiling for shorter listening. You know what, Brett? When I got when I got my realistic DX100, I had about 20 feet of wire going into the house on the ceiling, and I was using Scotch tape to make it, hold there. And like every once and then, my mom would say, "Hey, one of your wires just hanging and dangling." I almost poked my eye out just by going there. So, and I would just tape it again on the ceiling. And you know what? I remember the first time that I put up a 20, 25 feet of wire like that on the ceiling. That was the first time that I was tuning around and I heard Radio Australia, and I was like, whoa. I remember the first time I heard Radio Australia, it was in the evening. And back in 82, 83, we were at the peak of a solar cycle. What the hell? It looks like a bomber or something that's, gonna strike. Okay. So anyways, I remember being amazed and just like jumping up and down, and I was alone. I remember I was alone in the living room, and I was listening to that station for like at least 20, 25 minutes, wondering what that English broadcast is. And we got on top of the hour, and the guy said, "This is Radio Australia." I started jumping up and down. I was like, wow, I am getting a signal from the other side of the planet. That magic moment, that moment was, wow. I wish I could relive something like that. I mean, I do, sometimes you hear a signal, but as you listen a lot, I miss that feel from when you're young and everything is amazing. It's like, it's difficult to get that feel today when you're older, when you get, in the 50s. I'll be 50 years old in 5 months. And it's like getting that wow moment. It's getting more and more difficult. When you're at that age, it's like, wow. Everything is wow. It's like everything is beautiful. Everything is amazing. You're discovering, But I remember when I heard This is Radio Australia, I was like, whoa, I'm hearing Australia. And I remember it was a warm summer month. I was like, man, I'm listening to Australia. This is so cool. And I remember I listened in for like 2 hours because I was just amazed that I was getting a signal from the other side of the planet. Just nuts. That's just nuts. Pretty amazing. Scanning for pirates, Jerry. Nothing yet? Okay. Yep. I know. What do pirates use to listen to shortwave, Johnny DXer? Well, they like to transmit on shortwave, but you know what? I have a feel that most pirates use amateur radio gear. Most pirates will use amateur radio transceivers. Pretty much. A free slide in winter. It's not the kind of free slide I want to have. Oh, God. Thanks, Simon. Thanks. Actually, pretty much, Madam Bali, you know what? When I go to CKUT FM station in the morning, we always joke on the fact that we always joke on the fact that we have faces for radio. Yeah, that is a great picture, Fastload. Once again, for those that have not clicked the link or anything, pretty amazing. It's a little bright, sorry, but Pretty amazing. He's got a great shack. It feels like, you know, being it's like one of those places that a guy like us feel like we're at home suddenly. Man, it's so dark in the back here. I feel like I'm in some kind of weird outer space place. If this was for the you know what? If I removed the barbecue, we would see the wall. I would be like there in the middle of darkness. I'd be the only thing you see in darkness. It's just amazing how dark this is in the back. Oh God. Mikai Cham, great face for radio. Oh man. Yep, exactly, Sepulchral Miasma. Anything that works, that's all. That's all that's important. Yes, Art Bell, absolutely. Art Bell was an amateur radio operator. Charlie Russell 55 says he heard, he talked about to Art Bell 4 or 5 times on 10 meters. He was W6OBB. Pretty cool. C. Johnson says, Captain Dave. Was it 3810, something like that? Max Estrong, we should all go bar hopping. Show up in a neutral city and see what happens. What could go wrong? You know what would be cool if we all have the possibility? We all choose a bar at some place in, you know, the world. And all of us just show up at that bar. I mean, we know each other from the chat and the live shows, but not from the, you know, aspects of personal who we are. And, you know, I don't know what most of you look like. I know a few of you what they look like, but I don't know most of you what you look like, so it's kind of cool. Take care, Simon Templar. We have a show tomorrow, VHF, UHF, by the way. Oh, Brett Wayne used thumbtacks. I didn't want to break. I didn't use thumbtacks because I didn't want to mess up the ceiling. Because my dad was kind of crazy on that. If you know, mess up, do holes in walls or something, it would go nuts. So I would just like use, you know, Scotch tape and re-Scotch tape every 2 days. Man. Max says strong. I'll buy the first 3 rounds. A little late out for paragliding. Yeah, it's a drone. Oh man, that would be nice. Having a drone show up. Just like buzzing right here and taking pictures. Oh man, that's life. Oh God. That's life. Yeah, big 50. Big 50. Crazy. Just crazy. I don't think Gilles is a joke person. I'm not good with jokes. I'm more of a story guy. I'm more of the guy that will tell stories. You know, interesting stories or funny stories that happen, but not a joke person. People tell me jokes that are really good. I never remember. I never remember the jokes. So I'm more of a story guy. Let's go into the stories of what's funny or whatever. You can never have too many radios. Absolutely. Absolutely. Robert Prosper, nice to have you here, says, when I was a wee lad, I convinced myself that the weird shortwave interference I was picking up came from Mars. Oh, really? You still see the slope? Oh, yeah, it's right there above my head. Look at that. That little thin going up to the... It's going up to the... Oops, sorry. Okay, this... Wow, this is reversed, so it's so weird. So this is the sloper antenna above my head, going up to the roof. Oh God, yep, sloper is pretty much the only thing you guys see. Yeah. Did Captain Dave got his license canceled? Well, he was kind of doing things you shouldn't do. Hey, Chris Alpha Tango, nice to have you here. Right now, Shortwave, HF. 330 megahertz. David in Barcelona says I could spend an entire month in the shack like that. Hertugel, oh man. Yeah. Pretty amazing. Is it possible to live stream from the moon in 2050? Well, if I'm still alive, I'll be in 2050. You will be 81 years old. So if we can live stream from the moon and it's affordable, I promise in 2050 to live stream a show from the moon. That's my promise to you. I'll be 81, so I'll be looking like crap, but hey, that's life. Robert Prosper says, my original outdoor antenna was simply attached to an alligator clip to the ring stop of our family rotary style telephone. I remember, I remember connecting my like alligator clips to metal parts of the phone to see and see if it would improve, reception. It's crazy. Hey, Jason Stafford, nice to have you here. Find Charlie, find the slope. Find the slope. Edward Hernandez, nice to have you on board. If you're visiting Canada soon, why not? Well, that's a good drunk test, by the way, Fast Lone. Especially in the back, it's like everything is reversed. It's like you just get messed up. If you're visiting, if you come to Montreal, Edward, say hi. We can meet up for a beer, a coffee, or whatever. Always nice to have all of you here. 3 hours into the show, guys. Pretty amazing. And hey, I'm getting WRMI on 5010. 5010. Honestly, Mick, I'm not sure that in 2050 I'll still be alive. Radio Avenic Cuba on 5040. Not very strong. WRMI very weak on 5850. WWCR really strong on 6115.
Everything that you are.
Everything that you are. Applause.
You are who you say you are, Lord. Absolutely.
6175 in Spanish, which I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's maybe Channel Radio. Yep, Channel Radio 7210 also. WHRI on 7315. WHRI 7315. WWCR 9350. Let's try for anything unusual or special. Wow, what's that on 9900? $9,900 at 2300 UTC. $9,900 at this time. Radio Taiwan at 2230 030 or well. Oh, CNR1 jammer. Is it? We got a path to China on 9900. This is CNR1 jammer, apparently. Well. Yeah, it's Chinese. This is CNR1 jammer from Japan. Pretty amazing. Well, I got this weird interference on 21660. I think it's a computer. Oh, interesting. Transmit from the moon with my ham ticket in 2050. Oh, that would be good. That would be nice. 81 is the new 50. Oh, God. They were saying that 50 is the new 30 or something like that. I really got to say that I'll be 50 in 5 months. I totally don't feel like 50. And probably because I'm doing a lot of bicycle, I really feel in shape. So I don't feel like 50. You know, when you're young, I remember telling my brothers that, when I was like 20 years old, I was saying, oh, that's the old guy, he's 50. Yeah, I'm there now. I don't feel old. I don't feel like an old geezer at 50. But, you know, maybe that will be the case. Maybe with all the advance in technology, 81 will be the new 50. I don't know. Richard Cook says, BPM, China good on 5,000. B says, be assured, Jill, no other person can replicate what you do on here, my friend, much to the disappointment of certain individual. Can I also say congratulations to Sparkzilla? Yes, Sparkzilla is a new amateur radio operator now. He's got his license officially. Really cool. He's been one of the first, you know, when I started doing the live shows a few years back, he's been one of the first watching the live shows, and I keep contact with through Twitter regularly, and yeah, congratulations if he's ever watching this show. He is really nice to have his ticket. It's really cool to have his ham ticket. Robert Prosper, alas, where I live now, nothing works as a decent antenna apart from the random wire inside my apartment. Yeah, that's the sad thing. Edward Hernandez, yes, I am coming from New York to Montreal for 10 days. Can I bring my CB radio? Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to ask if it's possible to find parrots on shortwave in 2018. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of them too. If you're from in North America, anywhere from 6850 to 7,000 kilohertz. In the wintertime and lately, the bottom part of 4 megahertz and 5 megahertz, lots of pirates there too. There's a lot of pirates on the air recently. Chris Alpha Tango says, yeah, it's CNR1 jammer, Chris Alpha Tango. It's not Japan, it's CNR1. It's the Chinese jammer, 5 on 9900. Richard Cook, 11808, a Romania off frequency? I got nothing here. Nothing here. No, Matambali, CNR1 Jammer is the official China National Radio 1 broadcast, which is like the main broadcast from Chinese broadcasting. And they often use that rather than Fire Drake. Fire Drake is the Chinese drums and music all the time. But lately they've been using much more the CNR1 Chinese National Radio to jam everybody else's broadcast. So CNR1 is used. So that's what CNR1. It's not tones or anything. They just use, you know, they just pretend they're not jamming. They use a regular broadcast to jam everybody else. So it looks more like not jamming, you know. Robert Prosper, does anyone ever pick up shortwave stations above 17 megahertz? I often hear the 17 meter band. Like in the afternoon, I hear the Pathways, African Pathways Radio, 17640, Spain 17855, 13 meter band, 21 megahertz. It's used, but it's not used much. We're in the low part of the cycle of solar cycle, so 21 megahertz isn't doing much. Honestly. So, you know, for shortwave stations above, I would put the threshold at 20 megahertz. Above 20, not much happening, honestly. How much do you bike? This summer I didn't bike. I biked a few hundred kilometers, but for the past 20 years, I was averaging 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers per year on my bike. My bikes get so much usage that it's costing me a fortune to just always keep them in shape because I do a lot of it. Jay says, you look 37, seriously. Wow. You know what? I was at a bar the other day, and somebody was talking to me about my age. Actually, he was asking my age, and I said, well, I'm going to be 50 in 5 months. I'm 49. I said, wow. I thought you were like 40. I was like, well, okay, cool. Yeah, Richard Cook has a new elect SDR. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Robert Prosper says cycling is a big deal among middle-aged men, especially in New York, New Jersey. Best beer in Montreal. You got to have the Unibroue beers. You got to have. There's a lot. Montreal has a great selection. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff in Montreal. Let's meet up and have a few beers. We're going to taste some great beers together. Mick says local FM stations are okay, but AM shortwave are poor. Probably I need decent antenna. Yeah. That's often the problem. That's often the problem. Robert Prosper is getting attached to Zoomer Radio out of Toronto. No, you don't do your age also. Fastlow does not do his age, I gotta say. We're a bunch of radio guys that look young. Pick up the chicks. Me and Fastlow can pick up the chicks. Oh God. Max S20 says I would have taken better care of myself if I know I was going to live this long. You know, you can't ever go back and think about whatever. Okay. You can. Yeah, Fastload. You can never go back on what you did, and what we did, we did. I gotta say, I've had a pretty rough life too. Honestly, I might not live as old and as as others because I've had a pretty rough life in many aspects. I'm careful now, but I used to drink really a lot of alcohol, way too much, and you do these things when you're younger, and they probably have an impact over time. But you can't regret whatever you did before. It's you can't change it anyways. Mick, I've been there with the age thing. Oh, you don't look that old. Then one morning you wake up and everybody knows you're 60. Yeah, absolutely. It happens to everyone. It's like looking at these actors. You watch these actors and these, on TV, and they're like, oh, wow, they look young, they look young. Then one day you don't hear from them for 10 years, and then they get on TV and they're like, wow, you look so old today. And that's what everybody will, we all will wake up one day, and I know I will wake up one day, and look old. I mean, it'll happen to everybody. So you gotta live with it. Somebody told me once, that's the fair thing in life. Rich or poor, one day you'll look old and that's it, and one day you'll die and that's it. Yeah, if there's something fair, that's it. Anyways, Edward Hernandez, send me an email at officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com when you're in Montreal. We'll meet up for sure. Don't worry. Robert Prosper, good for you. The cycling does help keep a man younger than he otherwise would appear to be. Possibly. Man, I did a lot of bicycling, I'll tell you that. Fastlow wants to transfer his mind on hard drive sometimes. That would be interesting. One day we'll all put our minds on a hard drive, and for future generations to see the different types of humans that were in the past. That'd be kind of nice. 4625 buzzer. Nope, I'm hearing a little lower. The chirp sounds. 4615 of the Kodar. The chirping of the Kodar, the ocean wave radar. Nothing gets a woman hotter for a guy than hearing that he is into shortwave or ham radio. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure, Robert. You get into a bar and says, hey, you know what? I like shortwave. How about you? No, the best phrase would probably be, hey, how you doing, babe? I got a big antenna. I got a huge antenna. And it's like, have you ever heard of a sloper antenna, baby? Yeah, I'm not sure. A sports car. I always thought sports car were like for old geezers. I'm sorry if anybody has a sports car out there, but I don't know why. But Brett Wayne says, I did not this year, but I bike 20 miles after work in the summer. It is nice, and it keeps. Oh, of course, Robert. That's for sure. I mean, they have so much makeup in their face. It's just crazy. Actors have tons of makeup. I want to tune my knob, Jerry. Want to tune my knob? Like that. I have 4460 Kodar. Yeah, I think 4460 is also a frequency where there's some. Oh, I don't have one here. I have them more like at 4620, 4610, Richard. Show her your 8-foot vertical. That's in Valley. Hey, babe, want to come to my place and erect an antenna? Hey, Edward Hernandez, absolutely no problem. I will continue for sure. Oh, that's cool. 15 watt FM transmitter. Just don't get caught by the FCC. It's gonna cost you a fortune, Edward. Been seeing all of those FCC busts where they're really getting $100,000 fines or so much. Yeah, B. It's nice to have you on board, Tam. Man. Our mind gets uploaded to the cloud. Oh, wow. Okay. Brett Wayne. Hey, Andy Kelly. Nice to have you on board as usual. Tomorrow, VHF UHF show, 2000 UT. Richard Co's got the pip on 3756. Brett Wayne. Hey, baby, I'm an extra class ham. Hey, F. Lassie, nice to have you on board from Oakland, California. Oh, God. Yeah, MDK2 Matt didn't come back. Guess he had other things to do. It's life. You know what I mean? Life doesn't revolve around Gilles. Life revolves around whatever's happening in your own life. I mean, I'm here, but it's kind of cool. So, hey guys, we've been on for 3 hours and 18 minutes. Tomorrow there's a show, VHF UHF show. So we're going to sign off and hope you guys enjoyed today's show. It's always fun to be here. It was fun to do it from outside, even though I'm wearing my leather jacket. Tomorrow, VHF UHF will be talking about the bands, the VHF UHF 30 megahertz and above, basically. Hope everybody enjoyed the show today. It was nice to be outside. It was nice to tune around. Stay safe. Have a great night, great day, everyone, wherever you are. And tomorrow, of course, we'll be here again. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, my friends. Love you all. And it's always, always nice to have everybody here all the time. Hey, Color Radio. Nice to have you here, 73. Well, you know what? I'm here to that, and I like promoting the hobby and trying to have everybody, be here and just know that Shortwave Radio is still alive. On one of the when I set up a Tempo 10 tomorrow. I'm not sure, Fastload. There's a actually tomorrow I'm really busy. Tomorrow morning I'll be out, Fastload. It's not that I don't care. Tomorrow I'll be out. I'll be back home at like 1 or 2 p.m. I'm already gonna have to set up for the show. It's too complicated because honestly, it's the kind of thing, doing on another guy, just setting up a tempo or whatever, setting up something. It's always like, it's cool. It's like, guy moment. We talk, and it's the kind of thing that I actually like. So, anyways, it's privilege to be here. It's a privilege to help out in the hobby. And like I was saying on Facebook the other day, there was a guy that said, well, that's a bummer. He went to the this group and said, well, that's a bummer. There's no more stations to listen to and no QSL cards to get. And I just had to post, here are some of my favorite stations: Romania, Turkey, WRMI, Prague, Radio Slovakia, Radio RE Argentina, and so on. And I said, A Voice of Vietnam. So there's still some stuff to listen to. And I said, most of these QSL. So I'm sorry, but I don't like people posting negative. There's nothing on the bands. Okay? I hate that. There's still stuff to listen to. Long live Shortwave. And there's going to be beer and pizza. He's trying to lure me into his in tempo building with beer and pizza. So take care, everybody. Bonne nuit. Take care, everyone. Love you all. Stay safe, please. Hey, Michael Walker. Nice to have you here. There's a lot of people watching and not really commenting most of the time. It's pretty cool. And Brian Penny. It's a vast spectrum with everything to listen to. Absolutely. And there's still a lot of stuff out there. So take care. Stay safe, my friends. And for my friend David in Barcelona, I will fade off, even though it's really dark in the back. Bye, everyone. Stay safe. Love you all. See you tomorrow. VHF, UHF, 2000 hours UTC. Bye-bye.